Sunday Fun Day in full effect. I know Comatron's ready for the BitBeam Canon. Oh yeah, he is. Oh baby, this is gonna be a hot one. It is hot in the hot tub today. We're getting an exclusive first look at Metro Siege Level 2. Of course, we're gonna play Level 1 as well. We're gonna play Metro Siege 1, Level 1, Level 2, and we're gonna play Daemon Claw. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna do it all with the folks from BitBeam, Canon, Michael Parent, and Corey Annis. Razor XG in the house, X Barry PL Chess, Pred Zeta Lemon Amiga is here. What is up, everyone? Ya boy, Rizya. Thank you for the follow, Amiga. Thank you for the follow, dude. Appreciate that. Ram, it is time, baby. TMBTH, what is up? Bobby Zeal, what's up? Hatchet 2K4, ahoy to you, my man. Great to see you. I'm here, Pred Zeta. I'm here, don't worry. Air Yuri in the hot tub and in the Amiga Bill sub club. Air Yuri, watching Amiga Bill ad free. He gets the awesome emojis, and best of all, he gets the Amiga Bill goodie bag. And after every stream, man, I send out a goodie bag with all kinds of cool stuff. All the links, demos, photos, all kinds of cool stuff. Alan-san, what is up, Alan-san? Baltoth, yo, 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 yo. Amiga 1200 Gamer, it's me again, Amiga 1200 Gamer. This is my third stream in 24 hours. It's kind of crazy. All day, every day, Oram. Jost80, my man, what is up? Yeah, I've been busy, Pred Zeta. PXI, what is up? What's up? Great to see you. Amiga Swiss, it is fun time. I tell you guys what, we have some very special guests waiting. I do want to do a little Amiga news as well, because there's some hot stuff going on in the community. So we're going to get this party started, man. We're going to take it back to Datastorm 2013. We're still hanging out with Focus Design. Hoffman is still doing the music, and it's awesome as always. It's Mosaic. Datastorm 2013. Let's do this, baby. Amiga. Yeah, baby, that was Focus Design, Datastorm 2013. What is up, everyone? Happy Sunday Fun Day to you. It is just great to have everyone here. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Yo, I'll be sure. Thank you. Another great demo and Amiga fun. Oh yeah, I'll be sure. You know it. Let me take the volume down there. The Ace Man is hot, baby. Oh man, what do we got going on? Air Yuri, thank you again for the resub. I appreciate you very much. Dude, 9 months, Air Yuri. We had a stream baby today. Happy stream baby, Air Yuri. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate you. Arnuj, what is up? New Game Hype, New Lotto. Keep on, baby. Keep on going. Amiga Live, thank you for the raid. Amiga Live dropping some hot Amiga tunes all day. Amiga 1200 Gamer, I'm much more awake than I was for Gamescom this morning. I was a little sleepy. I hope I was able to keep the energy up enough. I had to like be quiet, you know. This is so everyone is just tuning in. This is my third stream in 24 hours, so I am a little bit tired, but not as tired as I was at 7 a.m. this morning when I was streaming at Gamescom. But hopefully it was good. Razor XG, my man. Nebula Design, what's up, Nebula Design? Great to see you, Nebula Design creators of Iridium. That rewind to last week. DJ DTA PR, greetings to you. Sep Lemon Amiga, my man. It's great to have you here, Sep. Oh, I'm over modulating. Sep, thank you for all the support, buddy. I really appreciate it. You're awesome, dude. Nice. Sakatumi, what is up? Aloha to you. Hello, Hawaii. Razor XG, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Phenotype A2, what is up? Oram, dude, Oram is dropping bits like crazy. Oram. Dude, Oram is on, he's a VIP for a reason. Oram, thank you so much for your support, Oram. That is so kind of you, man. Amiga Bill, Patreon VIP in the house right there. Skyzoo73, what is up, Skyzoo? Dave Test. Awesome to see you here, Dave Test. I'll be sure, thank you so much for the subscription again. I appreciate you very, very much, I'll be sure. Thank you. I'll be sure getting the Amiga Bill goodie bag, watching ad-free. I hope you're enjoying the Amiga Bill goodie bags. You're looking forward to, Amiga Live's looking forward to the stream. Metro Siege is the Amiga game I'm most anticipating. Wait until you see it, Amiga Live. It's so good. It's so good. Boca's retro stuff. What is up? Lord Squeak, what's up? Oh, man. Yo, John TSAK in the house as well. John, someone told me how to pronounce your name properly. I think it was DJ Nest, and I already forgot, so my apologies, John. But John is the main man, one of the main dudes in Creators of Worthy, which I played at Gamescom this morning. Andre Wageson, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Oh wait, what's going on here? Oram. Whoa. Maya82, another Amiga Bill VIP. Maya holding it down in the Amiga Bill VIP room. What is up, Maya? I'm glad you enjoyed. Maya, finally, Maya's in Germany, and you know it was awesome streaming to Germany this morning. Even though it was 7 a.m. here, it was like 1 p.m. prime time in Germany. Oram, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. You've gifted 30 subs to the channel in total. Oram, you're a madman, Oram, and I love you for it. Thank you, Oram. You're amazing, dude. You are awesome. I can't put into words how much I appreciate you and everyone's support and everyone just showing up here every Sunday to watch me babble about Amiga. D Frizzell, what is up? Right on. Yeah, Oram, you rock. Social Gamer, what is up? Amiga Swiss, thank you for the subscription, Amiga Swiss. I really appreciate that. Brand new sub, Amiga Swiss. What is up? Welcome to the stream, and thank you so much. This is one of the more interesting projects online. I agree, PXI. I agree. Oram's amazing. Alpine 9000. We're gonna learn what John and Alpine 9000 had to do with these games. But they are. So guys, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna play Metro Siege as well as Daemon Claw, and we're gonna have Corey and Mike from BitBeam Canon on in just about 15 minutes. They're ready to go. I'm just stalling a little bit because I want to give you guys just a little taste of the Amiga news because lots of important stuff is going on. So I want to make sure we talk about that for a second. Let me see who else is there. Oh, Skyzoo from Italy with Amiga Love. Hello, Italy. What is up, Italy? It's awesome to have Italy here. Greetings from New York. Social Gamer, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that very much. Tim the Baron Tyler. What is up, Tim? Moss6510, greetings from Germany. What's up, Germany? Been spending a lot of time in Germany with the Gamescom streams. They were so much fun. I think the Moss6510, I think you found me on the Gamescom stream, so thank you for coming back. It's awesome to have you here. You have serious lags. I'm sorry, Fred Zeta. Bummer. Refresh, baby. Refresh. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. If you guys are new to my streams, I like to start off every stream with a little Amiga news. And I'm gonna make it really brief in this case though, but it's important as far as like the next week of this channel. So I want to go over just a few things with you real quick, and then we'll have Mike and Corey on. What time is it? 2:13. I promised I'd get them going by 2:30. So we'll do that, and because tomorrow is actually my 18th wedding anniversary. So wife device and I are going out tonight to celebrate. So I can't go into overtime today. There's no overtime today if I'm gonna make it to my 18th wedding anniversary. Okay. In Faye, thank you so much for the follow. Again, anyone who is new to my streams, I'm Bill, and I stream Amiga every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UTC. That's 8 p.m. Central European time here on Twitch. I also have a YouTube channel I do with my buddy Anthony called The Guru Meditation at youtube.com/TheGuruMeditation. I'm going to be dropping an awesome J minor audio, very rare audio. I'll call it a video because I'm making a video out of it, but it's an audio recording of J minor. It's going down on YouTube. And I also run the Westchester Amiga User Group. We meet on the first Thursday of every month in White Plains, New York. Thank you guys, thank you. Razor, yeah, I think today's only going to go to 4:20, maybe 4:30 because I promised the guys at least 2 hours. Thank you, thanks to everyone for the kindness. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. All right, let me retro red rum, dude. How's it going? How's the move? I was thinking about you, Jeremy. I was like, I miss you. Yo, Social Gamer, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. It's very weird to hear my theme song come up as a mod file, by the way. I'm just gonna pull up a little Amiga news here, folks. First of all, let me drop the link to the demo that I played. I started the stream off with Mosaic by Focus Design. I had that ready to go because I was supposed to have Hoffman on the stream, but my Hoffman album still hasn't come yet. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, just playing Hoffman to play. So there we go. Mosaic by Focus Design. First place, Datastorm 2013. What's up, Corey at BitBeam? Corey's ready to go. Corey is ready to come on the stream. So this is, so Gamescom in Germany, one of the biggest gaming events in the world. It's happening right now. It might still be going on. Smash 80. Smash 80, you got the digital but not the vinyl yet? Yeah, Smash 80. It was supposed to be here. It's been in New York since last weekend. Like it got here on Friday, but for some reason it hasn't gotten to me yet. I'm a little worried. As it's lost. I'm sorry for the fluctuations in my exposure, everyone too, but the sun is going in and out. Let's head over to Indie Retro News, and this was a big drop at Gamescom. Reshoot Proxima 3, an Amiga blaster from Reshooter creator Richard Lowenstein gets a Gamescom 2020 trailer. Smash 80, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, whoa, look at that. That's crazy. So you guys know, Reshooter is one of my favorite new Amiga games to come out. I absolutely love it, and it's a horizontal scrolling shooter. And now Richard and the boys, Martin and Kevin, Invent 71 are working on the sequel, and it's called Reshoot Proxima 3. So let's take a look at the trailer. This is gonna be cool. Oh, I feel it, Richard. I feel the adrenaline. It looks awesome. So Richard did an awesome chat at Gamescom. I hope they just when you thought it's all so quiet. Oh my god. Escalation. The escalation, baby. I get so fired up in Reshooter when it escalates. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. Yo, huge congrats to Richard and the team. Oh, I cut it off. Kevin Saunders did the pixel. Richard Lowenstein did all the coding. And sorry, I didn't know there was more to it. And the in-game music was by Altraz, Virgil, and Dascon. That was awesome. So huge congrats to Richard and his team. I cannot wait. They will be coming on the stream for sure. They will absolutely 100% be coming on the stream for sure when it's time to demo the game. And here's the Indie Retro News link to reshoot Proxima 3. Let me catch up on this. Yo, we got a level 2 hype train. Nice. Tim the Baron. That's very funny. But hopefully everyone will keep their equipment. Hopefully no one's gonna lose their equipment today. Amazing stuff, right? Yeah, Richard did a great talk. I agree. Amiga 12 Gamer. That was just awesome. The trailer is great. I know, right? Only for Amiga. You feel the adrenaline? I did too. What's up, Vincent GR? Walker GR, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the streams on Gamescom. Thank you so much. Amiga Swiss, feeling the Amiga love. You love the metal music, yo boy? Yeah, it's so good, right? Yo, Christoph, thank you so much for the resub, Christoph. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Christoph. Thank you so much for all the support. You're watching ad-free and you get the amazing, I don't know how amazing it is, but you get the Amiga Build goodie bag, which I hope everyone's enjoying. Oh, nice, Giro. Nice, Giro. Enjoy your pizza. I had pizza yesterday. I love it. So, yeah. So that was my first piece of Amiga news. I'm gonna keep it moving along here. Like I said, there's a lot. I just want to bang this news out before we have the guys on. So I just want to show everyone reshoot Proxima 3. Now here's another one that's interesting. This is a really interesting one. For fans of Turrican, I've played Turrican on the stream before. It's one of the greatest all-time Amiga games, and now Turrican is back. It's being re-released by Strictly Limited Games, and that's essentially what this looks like to me. It's a re-release, and it comes in different flavors. It's released for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. And it's really for collectors. Like you can see, like this massive Nintendo Switch collector's edition is 199 €. So this is it's a limited release. I think there's only 999 copies being made. But it comes in different volumes. The Turrican Anthology Volume 1 and Volume 2 officially licensed Nintendo Switch games, also available on PlayStation 4. Welcome back to Turrican. In the Turrican Anthology Volume 1 and 2, the Factor 5 developed series comes back to modern console for its 30th anniversary. 30 years, man, I feel old. Discover the original Amiga games that took Europe by storm and challenging yourself in the console adventures that pushed them to the limit. This is retro action gaming at its finest. Across the collection comes extras such as developer insight, artwork galleries, and Chris Hulsbeck's incredible soundtrack available in the jukebox mode. There's two discs. Disc 1, Volume 1 comes with Turrican and Turrican 2 for the Amiga, Super Turrican for the SNES, Super Turrican Director's Cut for the SNES, and Mega Turrican Score Attack for the Mega Drive. Volume 2 comes with Turrican 3 for the Amiga, Mega Turrican for the Mega Drive, Mega Turrican Director's Cut, Mega Drive, Super Turrican 2, and Super Turrican 1. So, I know some people, there's a lot of mixed feelings about the release. Some people wanted like a new Amiga version. Some people were saying I wish all the Amiga versions were on one disc so we didn't have to buy two. All fair criticism. If you're a collector, this might be something that's interesting for you. I'm gonna drop the link into the chat, and you can research it on your own and decide if it's for you. But bottom line is Turrican's awesome, and I love Turrican. And it's cool. It's cool that we can play it on the PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. I'm still gonna play it on my Amiga for sure, but it's nice. Like I know I've got the Shadow of the Beast, the remastered Shadow of the Beast, the brand new Shadow of the Beast game, which I think is amazing. And it also, that game came with the classic Amiga version too, and I had fun playing it on the PlayStation, even though I still want to play it on my Amiga. But this is cool, man. It's cool. It's that Turrican's still alive. It's gonna get introduced to a younger generation, and I'll drop the link into the chat, and you can decide if it's for you. Yeah, some people are a little bit upset about it, but I'm making you aware of it. I think some people are gonna really enjoy this, and other people, are definitely a little bit against it. So I'll drop the link into the chat. You can do a little research on your own. I need to research a little bit more myself. I don't think there's any new versions of Turrican. I'll research a little bit more on my own, and we'll take it from there. I can tell you that I love Chris Hulsbeck very, very much, and his music is awesome, and it'll be a lot of fun listening to his music. It's never. Chris is gonna be coming on the stream at some point too, so we'll talk to him about this when he comes on the stream. Yeah, no PC version. It did get a lot of backlash. It got a lot of backlash. So you know, like I said, there's the link, and you can go figure out if it's good for you or not. Oh, nice. You're playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, Maya. It's a great game. It's a great game. Relax on air. What is up? I crushed it on Gamescom. Thank you, Him Interact. I can't wait to have you on the stream as well. Seplum and Amiga's loving the goodie bag. Yeah, Jiro, Indie Retro News is great. The trailer's got all thumb down on YouTube. Again, there it is. You know, it's cool if you don't like it. If it's for you and you're a hardcore collector and you want to buy the stuff, cool, man. Like, there it is. Yeah, €199 has half a vampire. But you know, there we have it. There we have it. Turkin. You know, hopefully, what I hope comes from this is maybe it will get into the hands of some young folks, and some young folks will get the game and they'll want to go out and buy an Amiga, you know, and play it on an Amiga. That'd be awesome. The more people we get into the Amiga community, the better, and the more young people we get into the community, the longer the Amiga will last. Because I'm not gonna last forever, that's for sure. Jiro, why no Turkin for Xbox? I know, man. I bet you Factor 5's got a deal with Sony, kind of like the Shadow of the Beast folks did. That's my guess. But they also, so yeah, it would be nice if it was on Xbox and PC. That would be really cool. That would be cool. I'm not gonna disagree. Bring it out on all the platforms, man. Spread the love everywhere. Young people don't have money. All of them don't. All right, so so here's a little bit of an announcement. Speaking of things that could be a little controversial. Oh, you know what? Okay, let me. I'm gonna make this very brief. Basically, you guys know I've got this amazing Amiga 1200 case here. Where's my overhead cam? Again, I didn't adjust overhead cam. I got started a little bit late. We're having some technical issues with Mike and Corey. This is my beautiful CD32 colored Amiga 1200 case from A1200.net. Now, A1200.net, you know, had some issues delivering on some of their products. The keycaps and the Amiga 500 cases, and there's just been like a lot of stuff going on, you know what I mean, with the A1200.net guys. So they're like, you know what, we want to come and like talk to your folks and talk to the Amiga community. So I'm gonna have them on as guests. I'm gonna have Marcel and Phil on as guests next week, and they're gonna talk about the whole situation. They've started producing the A500 cases, which is great because I'm a backer for one of those, and they're starting to make the keycaps again. However, they're not gonna deliver the keycaps in all the colors that they originally promised. So next week will be your chance to talk to them directly, and you can ask them the hard questions. You can express your frustrations with them. You can tell them how much you love their cases if you're lucky enough to have one. So they're going to be on. They're going to answer all your questions. So think about that. Next week, the A1200.net team will be on, and you know, again, they're there to answer all your questions, the hard ones, the easy ones. They're there to take compliments. They're there to take criticism. So it'll be interesting to catch up with those guys. I know a lot of people spent a lot of money backing them, and they want to know what's going on. So next week here on Sunday, you'll have your chance to talk to the A1200.net guys. Yeah, see, Amiga Swiss, you're still waiting for your CD32 color case, and that Amiga Swiss, come by next week, and you can ask them anything you want. Like, why does Amiga Bill have a CD32 color case and not me? It's a fair question. It's a fair question. Yeah, so ORAM, they put the Amiga 500 cases. They're making the Amiga 500 cases, which they have never produced yet. They've only done Amiga 1200 cases. But they're doing Amiga 500 cases. They've started production on those again. But I can't. You want the keycaps? Yeah, I can't answer all the questions. That's why I'm having them on, so that you can talk to them directly. And again, it's not going to be like a puff piece, because I know some folks have been waiting almost 4 years now for their keycaps, and they're frustrated, man. And I think the A1200.net guys are doing their best, and they want to come on and talk to the community and just be like open with you guys. So any questions you have, bring them next week, and they'll be really, really happy to answer them. Rendering Ranger, I'm always guru meditating every day. Every day I guru meditate. I don't know anyone that's making CD30. So Tim, this is a CD32 colored case, a CD32 style case for an Amiga 1200 that I have. It's not an actual CD32 case. Yo, Cream Double, thank you so much for the follow, Cream Double. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Amiga Freak 77? Yeah, exactly. Oh, Ram, I appreciate that too. It's been a long struggle. I'm still waiting for my cases too, you know. I'm lucky that I got the CD32 color case. I'm still waiting for my 500 cases, and you know, I want to know what's going on too. But they've always been like very communicative, which is great. I always get their updates on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and now they're willing to come on and talk to everyone about it because they feel bad that they can't produce all the colors, and they want to tell people why. So yeah, we'll have them on and we'll talk about that next week. I gotta keep moving on here. Speaking of next week, Andy Predator. Oh, you're Andreas D. What is up, dude? Thank you. Thank you for the kind words about my Gamescom stream. Speaking of next week, so just two quick. Wait, is that it? No, one more. This is it. This is the last bit of Amiga news here, guys. Last bit of Amiga news. And it's a good transition to Metro Siege. Captain John Archer and Amiga Sons. Oh my God. It got windy, Captain John. It got windy and it blew over your. I need to get a frame for your picture. There's Captain John and the Amiga Sons. Freaking, I love this photo. Whenever I sit down at my computer, I always look over at the captain and his family, and it makes me happy. Put you guys there. But I need to get a frame for you guys. I'm failing here, Captain. There we go. Anyway, desktop full screen. Let's do this. I got way too many settings here. Golden Wing Deluxe Collector's Edition. I was contacted by the creators of Golden Wing, and tomorrow we're gonna raffle. I mean, not tomorrow. Next Sunday we're gonna raffle off the physical edition. The Golden Wing Deluxe Collector's Edition to you guys on the stream. I got it right here. Oh, you guys want to see something cool? I got a new angle too. I was gonna do more with this angle today, but I don't want to waste too much time because I'm waiting for my guests. But I got a new angle. So you guys can see my shelf when I go to the shelf and take stuff off it. There's Mike. You can see Mike waiting. Mike's ready, man. Mike's ready to go. So I'll make this quick. Here's the Golden Wing Collector's Deluxe Collector's Edition. It's a beautiful box with the game Golden Wing in it. Golden Wing is actually, it's a free game. It's a freely downloadable game. It won a games competition, an Amiga games competition, and you can download it from Aminet. But if you want, like, if you're a collector, man, if you're a collector and you want to get this awesome box set, I'm gonna raffle this off next week. So yeah, it comes with a rad pin. It's got stickers. It's got a floppy disk version of the game. It's got a rad instruction manual. More stickers, Golden Wing sticker, and so if you want to win this Deluxe Collector's Edition, physical edition of Golden Wing, be sure to tune in next week, and I'll be raffling one of these off. A huge thanks to BitMapSoft for donating one to the stream. It's really, really, really cool of them. Desktop, where's my desktop here? Boom, there it is right there. I'm gonna drop this link into the chat for y'all. BitMapSoft. If you're not lucky enough to win the contest next week, then I highly recommend you go buy it. If you're a collector, this is really great. This is Golden Wing. Boom. All right, let me catch up on the chat here, and we're gonna bring on our guests. I don't want them to wait too much longer. What time is it? 2:31. I promised I'd have them on by 2:30. I don't want to keep them waiting much longer. That you like the view, Sin Lao? Thank you. You should do a stream going through your Amiga stuff. I could do that. Tim. I could absolutely do that. I'm gonna do You Love the Wide Angle Cam. Always improving the stream. That's an awesome camera review. Thanks, Oram. What's up, Semaphores? Voodoo Frog. You're somewhat amazed that anyone can even produce floppies anymore. I don't think that I think it's new old stock. You just tried to tap the pictures on the screen. Hilarious. Oh, thank you, Jiro. I appreciate that. Whitey Snakey, what is up? Great to see you. Actually, I want to try something really quick right before I got the guys on. Let's see if this works. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but this is my Electro Voice RE55 microphone, so I can like walk around. You know, when I play a good demo, I can like dance around like a maniac. So, you know, stay tuned. I'll be using this camera on streams in the future. I'm not really gonna use it much today though, because we got guests to tend to. Oh, you heard the audio. There was an echo. Okay, so I'll do that. You know what I'll do is I'll mute when I change to that camera angle. I'll mute my handheld mic next time. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, guys. That was a test. that was a test of the new camera. Man, the sun is just blasting in. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, guys. Anyway, oh, Amiga Freak 77. I can't wait to get the Amiga Works documentary. Oh, are you Paul? I forgot. I still owe you a couple bucks for that. I chinched you on that. I'm sorry. I will. We call it. When I get the disc, of course, I'll show that on the stream too. I can't wait. All right, guys. Without further ado, let's get to the main event for today. It was almost 1 year ago to the day when Mike Parent from BitBeam Canon came on and debuted the absolutely stunning and incredible game Metro Siege that he and his team are working on for classic Amiga 500s. It is something that a lot of us have never seen before on Amiga 500. Like the quality of the gameplay and the complexity of the gameplay is absolutely stunning. They've been working on it for a long time now, and they've now completed level 2, and that's what we're going to check out today. We're going to play level 1 and level 2, and we're also going to check out another new game that they're developing called Daemon. Right now, Daemon is only on the PC, but it's going to get a pixel perfect port to the Amiga. So we're going to catch up with these guys right now. Alexander Mahita, thank you so much for the sub. Alexander, Human Interact, thank you very much for your support, Alexander. And congrats on your game. Alexander's going to come on and we're going to do some VR. We're going to do a VR stream in the not too distant future with Alexander from Human Interact. Awesome stuff, dude. And Emerald Heart, thank you for the follow. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn off the Eastman as much as I love the Eastman. We're gonna make it nice and quiet in here so we can hear our guests very clearly. I'm gonna unmute them. Let's see, boom. I think I got this figured out by now. They are unmuted, and let's see if they're here. Check, mic check, 1 2, mic check, 1 2. Mike? Can you hear me, Mike?
Yes. So it's a mic check.
It's a mic check. Welcome to the stream, Mike. Welcome back. And we also have Corey.
Thanks.
We have Corey Annis via voice. You can see his awesome avatar down there. Corey, mic check, 1 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. So Corey and Mike are from BitBeam Canon. They have a couple of amazing new games in development, Metro Siege and Daemon. If you want to check out their website, do !BitBeam, BITBEAM in the chat, and they'll link to their website, and you can see the amazing stuff that they're working on. But we're going to check it out like right now, live on stream, and you guys can ask them questions. They're going to tell us about what's going on, and it's going to be great. Mike, give us a little intro about yourself for the folks who didn't catch the stream last year.
Okay. Well, I'm over 10-year veteran in the pixel artist. I worked for companies like Gameloft for mobile phones and devices and Glue, and also freelance for studios like WayForward and Sega. One of the most recent professionally published games that I worked on was Thor: God of Thunder for the Nintendo DS, which was made jointly by WayForward and Sega. And so I met Corey in the professional mobile and handheld game industry. We worked together for a while, and then I ended up leaving Glue, and then so we lost contact for a short while, and then started talking sort of on the internet, long distance, and got back into collaborating on stuff together, and eventually formed BitBeam Canon and started working on projects such as Daemon. And then Metro Siege was actually sort of an Amiga side project of mine beyond my day job type stuff. And once Corey and I really started working together as BitBeam Canon, over time, Corey is now helping on Metro Siege as well. He designed the first boss, which we can't show you yet, but it's nearly done in behavior and stuff, but not quite ready for a reveal yet. But he'll be actually designing and doing the art and animation for all of the bosses of Metro Siege, so I'm really excited about that.
That's
And
awesome.
he also,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
No, good. I was just gonna.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
We can. Well, yeah. Let's introduce Corey. Corey, welcome to the stream.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I have a similar story to Mike's. You know, we worked in the mobile industry. I worked at a couple different companies and ended up at Glue Mobile as well. And worked a lot of the games I worked on in mobile were kind of their in-house properties. So I worked on a couple games like Super KO Boxing 2 and did like the backgrounds and the interface for that game. And also Gun Bros while I was at Glue, the first one before I left there. After that, kind of did freelance capacity, various stuff. I'm presently the environment artist on Retromania Wrestling for anyone interested. It's not out yet though. But yeah, just in a freelance capacity. But yeah, we ended up working together some years back on various different endeavors. Me and Mike, we eventually had the idea of BitBeam Canon and making our own games and stuff. I think every developer eventually ends up in that boat at some point. They want to do their own things. So this is our way of doing that. So,
It's awesome. Yeah. I've got your website, the BitBeam Canon website, up on the screen right now. And now I know Metro Siege. You guys are obviously a huge part of Metro Siege, but you're collaborating with some other folks in the Amiga community as well. Do you want to tell us who else is involved with Metro Siege?
Yep. Actually, as I mentioned, it was a side project for a while that only I was working on as far as from the BitBeam Canon side. And that's because it started out as simply for over a decade. I've been an Amigan since I was in my mid-teens, and it always frustrated me that while they were great computer style games for Amiga, that even though the Amiga was very capable of doing console and arcade quality action games, it really frustrated me that there weren't many. Even some of the games that looked fantastic, suffered from the one button joystick problem, and just in general, there was less of a focus on action gameplay design, like amazing looking and sounding games like Shadow of the Beast. It's just not a very fun game to play. And so that always frustrated me. So I would do these mock-ups just as a pixel artist of this is how an Amiga game could look. And I have an older brother who was really into programming. And so, when we would rent video games, Mega Drive games or Super Nintendo games in our youth, or even look at Amiga games that we, like Blood Money and Shadow of the Beast, I used to love, pausing the games on the blurry CRT TV and studying the pixel art, but also talking to my brother and asking him how the hardware banging tricks were done to really make such amazing things happen, especially on the Amiga. And so I would make these mock-ups as one of those rare artists who not only understands but loves those kind of technical constraints, learning how to really hardware bang to get the most out of the machine. And so I had released kind of in the Facebook groups, like the Amiga Facebook groups, some of these mock-ups I made. And luckily, John Sack, I think we usually call him, but I think it's Sakiris. I think that's how you say his name. He contacted me. He saw one of those mock-ups, or all of the mock-ups, and he talked to Alex. They had finished Worthy around that time, and it was published, it was shipped, it was out the door, and so John saw the mock-ups I did, and then talked to Alex, and then basically, from what I hear, said to Alex, we should talk to Mike. He does, really pro level pixel art stuff. Let's see if he wants to join with us to make the whatever next game is. So that's how they became. That's how they introduced themselves to me, basically, which I'm so glad they did. And Alex, we then had a conversation, and they asked me which of those mock-ups would I like to make, and we decided the beat 'em up would be the most impressive, and the sort of all the genre. There are some pretty darn good, especially these days, thanks to people like Richard and the other people developing amazing shmups right now for Amiga. That genre is well covered with very high quality games. But beat 'em ups, there's really not a really arcade or console quality, and that happens to be my favorite genre. I grew up playing, everything from Final Fight and Streets of Rage 2, Double Dragon, all those games with my brother. And so basically, it was a chance to make several dreams come true, to make a high quality game on the Amiga with an incredible team, and to I forgot where I was going with this. What was the other? I mean, just make a really good beat 'em up game that combined everything I loved from every beat 'em up my brother and I ever played, and kind of removed the things I didn't like or find a way around them. So we can talk about that more once you're
Yeah.
playing it.
Yeah,
But,
I want to get
yeah.
the game up and running. Yeah, I have Worthy here. So this is basically like 4 people are involved in the game. It's you, Corey, Alex, who's Alpine 9000 in the chat, and John T. I want to say Task, but I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong. But John Tascaris, they are creators. Alex and John made Worthy, which is I think one of the greatest new Amiga games that came out, and I played it today at Gamescom. I absolutely love the game. So kudos to you guys. This is like an all-star team of Amiga developers here for Metro Siege. I'm so excited. So I want to, we're going to keep talking. If anyone has got a question for the guys, please do at Amiga Bill in the chat so I can see it easier. Nal Paul, thank you so much for the subscription. Nal Paul, I appreciate your support very much. Stinglaw TV Games, thank you so much for the follow. And Captain John says that he and the Amiga Sons loved playing level 1 of Metro Siege at Amiga 34. So I see there's already one big question. I'm gonna start up the game. They're asking if it supports 2 buttons. So I think that's a great question. And before you answer that question, though, I just want to say I think you were going where you were going is you want to make a great Amiga game that is great on. Well, we can get into this as well. Great on any platform.
Yes.
So you don't want it to be great just because this game's great. It's amazing. I can run on Amiga 500. But on a real PC, it's whatever. Like you want to make a game that's great regardless of the platform that it runs on. So I don't know.
Yes.
There's 2 things there. There's 2 things there for you. Second button, and talk about your outlook for the future, of the Amiga games, and you want this game to be great across platforms, not just on the Amiga.
Absolutely, yeah. Metro Siege, it does support 2 buttons, and in fact, it requires 2 buttons minimum. You could, of course, do that with the keyboard, but the best way to experience the game is with an arcade stick, or if you're used to console-style D-pads, like a compatible CD32 style controller is also great, and it will also support a 3-button mode for even more arcade and console quality play. So that will make pulling off some of the moves and actions even easier, but it plays fantastically with a 2-button controller or arcade stick.
It's great. It's perfect.
And then
I'll just show once I got this. I'll show. Oh my God, the Greek stick is stuck to my desk. It's too powerful. We can play today. I got 2 cool sticks here. I've got a monster joystick, and this is very appropriate because this uses Sanwa arcade parts, and it's got 2 buttons. And the buttons, you can switch between the buttons. You can use. Let's see if I go here. You can use, this is like your button 1 fire button, and then the second button can be used as a button number 2, or it can be, you can flip the switch on the back of it and it can be remapped. So instead of pressing up to jump, you can press the second button. So that one is super, super cool. And then I've got, of course, the Greek stick, which is made of iron. It's like the Superman of joysticks. It's got an auto fire, which you probably don't need for Metro Siege, but it's also a 2-button joystick. So I think it's rad. I think it's rad that you guys are making a game that supports 2 buttons, because many of the modern joysticks you can get for the Amiga are 2 buttons. And of course, if you're playing on emulator and you're using like an Xbox controller or something, you got plenty of buttons there. Okay, is there a CD32 version with the CD track in plan for the future?
I would love to do that. The team hasn't discussed it. Basically, we're doing a sort of 1 step at a time, make the first version as high quality as possible, and depending on its success and popularity and stuff like that, the sky's the limit. I mean, we would definitely love to make not only deluxe sort of versions of the game. Like I always loved the idea growing up, like once AGA Amigas came out, I loved the idea of games, especially on CD, that could like detect an AGA system that it's running on and auto upgrade itself in many ways. So stuff like that would be really cool to explore. And the other thing we're going to talk about, one of the ways things have progressed over the year we've been working on Metro Siege, the engine has become, which is called the Engine 9000, the engine made by Alex Brown. I think it actually started maybe even before Worthy, but it was basically the code base that Worthy was built on, evolved into the first engine for Metro Siege, and then now it's evolved into Engine 9000, which is just, it's become all the more optimized, flexible. It's got a built-in scripting system for cinematic and dialogue scenes. It's just become a pretty amazing engine. And one thing we were able to announce officially in the Commodore Expo, the Retro Expo that we streamed on yesterday, officially Alex Brown is going to be the one doing the official port to Amiga of Daemon Claw. But he'll be doing that on top of the Engine 9000. So you'll see that the engine is going to continue to grow in its flexibility and capabilities, not just to do beat 'em up style games, but side-scrolling action games. And and it's going to benefit from all of the work and optimization and features that Alex has already built in. Is going to make the creation of the true Amiga version of Daemon Claw go drastically faster and end up with an incredibly high quality end result.
I think folks will understand a little bit better when they actually see Daemon Claw. So guys, we're gonna play right now. I'm playing Metro Siege on my Amiga 1200. However, this game will run on like a 1 megabyte expanded Amiga 500, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now I'm running on my 1200, but when it's released, it will run on the Amiga 500, 1 megabyte of RAM. Amiga Live has got a great question because Amiga Live is very excited about this game. It's he was here for the original stream. He's wondering if you still have if you're still gonna have NetPlay support.
It's been worked on already. I've done tests with it. Alex has done tests with it. Right now, Alex could talk more about it if he wants to in the chat, if he's still in the chat. But it's definitely planned that we're at least going to work hard to get it. And obviously, this is 99.99% Alex, who will be working hard in this regard. We'll help him test it. But he definitely wants to get it in there and get it working as well as possible. Depending on what kind of code style is possible, is specifically from real Amiga to a real Amiga, is more limited than if you were doing it for like a PC or a modern console. So you might need to not be on opposite sides of the planet for it to work well if you're both on a real Amiga. But we'll see. It's definitely something we want to do, and work has already been done on it. And I'm pretty sure Alex tested, and if you're in the same kind of time zone with good internet, it was working very well.
Amazing.
So we can only go. It can only get better from there, depending on how much effort and what the limiting technologies are for actual Amiga systems.
That is awesome. That's super exciting. Amiga Swiss, thank you for the bit. Appreciate that. Again, Orom's asking if there's going to be a boxed version on sale, or is it only digital?
We are definitely planning on boxed versions of every game we make, is the plan currently. And we're definitely going to offer a lot of... before I was wanted to be a video game artist, when I was a young kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist. And that's a passion that never left me. And you can see the illustrations behind me I did there. And there's videos of me doing them on our YouTube channel, which you can find just by going to bitbeamcanon.com. But so the box will be actually painted, like the artwork for the box will be hand painted by me. I also do classic oil or acrylic painting. And I was in fact a professional portrait painter and mural painter a long time ago, before I got into the industry. And then the manuals of the games in the boxed version will be made to be a fully illustrated American-style comic book visual style for the manuals.
Oh my god.
So a lot of illustrations in full color, and it'll look like an American comic book. Illustrated by the same artist that, or co-artist at least, that in the case of Metro Siege and Daemon Claw, who designed the characters. Amazing,
Mike. Yeah, you are an amazing artist. I love your work so much, and I follow you. You're super talented. I can't wait to see that box. So Predze's got a great point. He wants to hear some of the music. Now, who did the music for the game? Was that John Task?
Yes, and man, did he do an amazing job. He was the one that got this project going to begin with, so I already have a huge appreciation for him. And he was doing a fantastic job at the beginning, just doing some of the artwork, helping build and optimize the environment tile set for level 1, helping with enemy art and animations, fonts, all that kind of stuff, and gave invaluable feedback in that regard and for gameplay. But then it turns out he's just an amazing musician, which completely caught me off guard. like in my mind, I had been thinking early on, it would be so great if we could impress and get the attention of one of the great famous Amiga musicians to do the soundtrack. But John has done such an amazing job with the you can hear it, and once you get into level 2, like I literally could not picture a more awesome and perfectly fitting soundtrack for this game, no matter what musician we got. So like I could not be more thrilled with how much the music he's creating matches the overall vision and the style that I wanted the game to have.
The music is awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous how jealous he is. You know what, Mike? I'm going to turn the music up right now for a second, so I'm not going to talk.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to fire it up.
Go for it.
Yeah, the music's amazing task. It's so good. Jiro's asking if these characters were inspired by any specific movie or anything like that.
More than a movie, definitely the two biggest influences were Final Fight and Streets of Rage, specifically Streets of Rage 2. And for the visual and overall style of the game, it was those two games combined with the actual influence for both of those games, which was American Hollywood vigilante movies back in the day in the late 80s, early 90s. So we're kind of taking what we liked from those games. Like Alex was already kind of a clone of what's his name? Cody from Final Fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Axel from Streets of Rage 2. So I took both of them and kind of made my version of Axel, which I jokingly named Alex for the programmer Alex Brown. And then the other character, though, Kim, is much more my own creation, but she is also a quintessential amalgamation of female video game characters crossed with vigilante movies. So she's an ex-cop who's the daughter of like a higher up cop who had just been assassinated, and they're trying to play it off like it was some kind of accidental death, and she's suspicious. She gets thrown off the force by questioning. Like quintessential plots for like a early 90s vigilante movie. So that's it's combining. It's mostly Streets of Rage 2 and Final Fight, but there are elements from other great beat 'em up games. Like if you recall, there's a lot of sophistication to the fighting mechanic. Just like you have pretty much all the things you can do in Streets of Rage 2, which is you can do a back attack. You've got a sequence of attacks. If you jump and there's like a regular jump kick that'll knock enemies down, or there's like a stunning knee move where you press jump and then jump the jump button again while you're in the air. You'll do a knee, like a flying.
That's what I'm doing
instead.
Right now, yeah. So jump and kick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's jump and kick.
Yeah, jumping
and jump will need. It's really
yeah,
amazing.
Exactly.
I gotta say, it's really amazing like how many variables to the gameplay there are and how many different moves you can do.
Yeah.
It adds so much to the game, and there's so many nice little touches in the game. I love when the enemies like fall, the whole screen shakes. I love like putting the poles in the foreground. Someone mentioned that to give you some depth. Everyone's loving the music.
Yeah.
Skyzoo, it is pretty easy, but that's just because this is a demo. The game's not this is really just a demo. The demo is very easy to play. It's like a tech demo of the game. So the actual game will be harder, I believe. Is that correct, Mike?
And yes, but you're also kind of staying in one spot and not scrolling ahead and getting like you can have up to 2 players and 4 enemies on the screen at a time, and much harder enemies appear later in the level. Mm-hmm. And then the boss at the end of level 1, there's definitely a curve Like, I don't die most of the time with level 1 right now, especially not for this demo because the boss is there. But even I who play this game incessantly to test it, and just because it's fun, even I tend to die by the time I finish off the boss especially. I've usually died once even on the first level. So it's a lot harder than you think if you'll see if you keep proceeding with the level. And of course, each successive level will get harder. But the other things you can do, so that knee is to stun the enemies, and then that way you can get in with the grab. To grab, instead, one thing I really disliked about every other game in the genre is in order to grab an enemy, you just walk up to them. Like, you just press up against them, basically. And that would lead to accidentally grabbing someone when you didn't want to, or even worse in the case of Streets of Rage 2 or 3, you can grab your ally, which was really inconvenient and often led to both of you getting hit or, accidentally damaging your ally. So what we did in this game is, in the 2-button mode, if you hold the attack button and tap or press forward, you'll lunge forward with your hands and actually reach and grab at the character. And if that makes contact, you'll actually grab them. And then if you just press, without holding forward, if you just press attack, you'll do the knee, just like Streets of Rage 2. But then if you hold back or forward and press attack, you'll throw them that way. And you can throw the enemy into the other enemies. And then with Axel, there are two other, Alex, there are two other things you can do. If you hold up and press attack, you'll do a combo sequence ending in a big uppercut. Or if you hold down and press attack, you'll slam them to the ground right by your feet. And one of the things you can do in this game that you can't in most games of this genre is you can hit enemies while they're down. And there are several ways to do that. If you hold attack button and tap down, if you're standing over the enemy that's down, you'll kick them while they're down. But you can also jump up in the air and then tap down twice, and you'll come down with either a knee or a elbow drop, depending on which character you are, which will do a lot of damage to the enemy that's down. But you have to be careful. In later levels, the enemies will be able to roll away or get off of the ground, and that way you might slam down on the Sonnet with your knees or elbow and actually damage yourself.
Oh, wow.
And then you'll be stunned for a second and be open to attack. So, and another thing you could do in this game that you can't do in most is something I actually borrowed from a very good Capcom game of the general genre called Knights of the Round. That game is pretty fun if you don't read the instructions, but if you discover, that game actually has a really cool blocking and countering system. And I pretty much swiped that and just tweaked the timing for this combat game, because obviously Knights of the Round has swords and shields. But if you hold attack and hold backward, you'll block.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So
cool.
Hold the attack, yeah. So, yeah, there you go, you escaped well, okay. So, yeah, that's right. And
I started playing worse just to make it look a little harder. Now, I'm just joking. I'm just that good. I'm just that good, SkyZoo. You guys are liking it. Thank you for the 1 bit, Ty Racer. Ty Racer, thank you for the bit. Carcetta, thank you for the follow. Sushi Gamers, thank you for the follow. And Colin Vella, thank you for the follow. This is awesome, guys. And again, if you guys have a question for Mike or Corey, please do at Amiga Bill in the chat so I can see it a little bit easier. The game is awesome.
And keep in mind, everyone, it does support 2 players simultaneously.
Yeah, let's do that.
And,
can I have a second player join? I know you can have a second player join and the AI can do it. I just don't know if I can do it at this point.
I don't know if you can switch them to AI. I don't remember. I hardly ever use
Yeah, you
this,
can definitely switch it to
feature.
AI. I know how to switch it to AI, but
Okay.
I don't know how to bring the other player on.
Left mouse click will probably do it.
There it is. And now I have 2 Alexes.
Well, that's a problem. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Can
think
you switch him to?
I don't know how, but yeah, this is amazing. There's 2 of us now.
Okay,
you know,
so
I can
we
do.
switched to
You know what I'll
AI.
do? I'm gonna switch to the female character and then have it jump in. Retro Gaming Denmark. Yeah, it's just gonna run on the stock Amiga 500 68,000. I guess I go 2 players.
Yeah. Yes, except for you need 1 meg.
1 mega RAM, right?
Yes, 1 meg total of RAM or more, obviously. But yes, it runs very well on an A500 so long as you have a meg of RAM total or more.
And if you guys, thanks, Ty Racer. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, again, try and do at Amiga Bill so I can see it. That's hilarious, SR Baker. No problem, guys. So now I'm gonna try. So I'm player 1, she's player 2. Okay. How do I start here? There we go.
Press the button one more time, I guess. Yep.
And it's cool. So the female character and Alex both have different abilities.
Oh yeah.
You can see.
We made sure. Yep. Go ahead.
They both have similar attack, right? Kim's a little bit better on the defense. She's much more agile, but she's got less stamina.
Right. And their just general styles of gameplay is quite different. Obviously, Kim's walking speed is a lot higher. The stream is delaying. Did you manage to get into gameplay yet?
Oh yeah, we're in it now.
There you go. Okay, excellent. So yeah, Kim can not only walk around much faster, which allows her to do really good footwork around the enemies. It looks like she's not set to AI yet. Oh, on the stream she's not set to AI.
I said it. Yeah, I said it to AI.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Quick question. Oron's asking if you guys have a release date for this.
No, that's super dangerous. I've almost never been, even in the professional studio projects, that didn't go over their estimated date, and that's when they have entire teams that can work on it full time and in crunch time with like that is their day job. Like everyone on the team is doing this on top of their day job, and we really care about quality. Like we've already iterated on so many things. We will. It's way more important that we release a game that we're really, really happy with than we set a very specific date and get it out then. Obviously, we don't want it to take forever. We don't want it to take several more years to get out. And I will say that the development is definitely speeding up now that the core engine is really well established. And especially now that we're going to have Corey working on it on a regular basis as well as myself. I should say the graphics for the environment graphics for level 3, I've about 80% finished, and I just started mocking up level 4 this morning. So things are moving a lot faster, and a huge part of the 1 year isn't just making this one level. The whole engine is vastly improved. The level 1 boss fight, which you can't see yet, is mostly done. And again, like things like the audio engine that Alex and John worked on to get such incredibly rich music and sound effects on at the same time on a stock Amiga without the need for a CD. All of that stuff is now done, and that's not only is that no longer going to be slowing down Metro Siege production, but as I mentioned, this same engine is going to be used for Daemon Claw and probably other games beyond that. So we're not just investing in getting Metro Siege out the door someday finally. It's also simultaneously working on the same engine that's going to allow Daemon Claw to come out all the faster, because it won't be created nearly from scratch. It'll be put onto this already incredibly functional engine.
You guys are building it all from the ground up. Yo, Lady A, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. We are joined by Mike Parent and Corey Annis from BitBeam Canon. They have a new game in development called Metro Siege, which we are playing right now. We're on level 1, and I'm going to get to level 2 and show you guys the never sort before seeing level 2. Now, Mike, you mentioned level 4. How many levels are going to be in the game?
Someone else, when I was doing the other stream, they actually remembered. I don't remember offhand. What we're shooting for is to make it, as far as general content, very comparable to like a Streets of Rage style game or what you're used to. But I really think the sweet spot for a gameplay session, once you're really good and don't die or continue a lot, we think the sweet spot is right around a half hour to get through the whole game. Mm-hmm. And we would much rather that the value of the game isn't that it takes you 5 hours to beat it. The value of the game is that you want to keep playing it over and over again, even though you already beat it 20 times. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
So, so there is going to be replay value also in the fact that there's at least one. You could see that third selectable character you can unlock. There are going to be other unlockable things which will further increase the value that way. But in general, we are just doing everything we can to make it really fun and addictive, and an extremely satisfying, roughly half hour of play where you're constantly seeing new environments, new enemies. Like the Streets of Rage 3 I don't know if, how many of you are fans of the genre and have seen that game, but they, in my opinion, they really went too far. The game takes too long to beat. It gets monotonous. It gets like you start, fighting the same kind of enemies over and over again. The levels start to last too long. There are too many levels, and it starts to become a chore near the end of the game instead of like this really, you don't want a game like this to start to get boring while the person is still playing through to the end.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
we want. Yep, go ahead, Corey.
I was gonna say, yeah, even Streets of Rage 2, as great of a game as it is, gets a little long. Like I think that was our longest playthrough these classic games. Like you start getting into weird stuff, like the secret underground base place which is out of nowhere. It gets long, but yeah, I agree. 30 minutes or half an hour once you're decent at the game is a good sweet spot.
Focus record stuff. Thank you so much for the host. I appreciate that. Now, guys, the thing that's really amazing too. Is this level 2 coming up? Here we are, level 2. Never before seen. New enemies, subways, American flags. It looks just like the New York City subway. It's amazing, except cleaner. This is amazing.
Actually, we're not done messing it up a bit, so that's exactly right. And I always, when I start working on any new environment, the first thing I do is I just go on a good search engine and I start doing image searches for all the kinds of, like, I always look up Chicago, New York, Boston, those kind of places, and then whatever, like subway system or like level, I can reveal level 4. So you can see level 3 is a subway
level 2
platform.
Oh.
Level 2, sorry, is a subway platform. So the end of this level, a subway, an express subway, is going to actually pull to a stop, and you're going to get on it. And so level 3 will be on the subway as it's moving, fighting your way from subway car to subway car.
No way.
And then at the end of that level, the subway will stop and you'll get out. So level 4 is you're in a totally new part of town, which is the industrial, like, warehouse area.
Wow.
Which is I'm having a blast working. So the first thing I did was start just doing a browser search for industrial area Chicago, industrial area New York, and Boston, and my hometown. You could see the name of the street there on the column says Eddy Street.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The home I grew up in the ghetto in South Providence, I lived off of a street called Eddy Street, so that's like a little inside Easter egg, little secret there. I actually lived on a street called Oxford Street, but that was way too long to fit nicely in the pixel art room there. So I went with the Eddy, which was like the main street I lived right off of.
Very nice. I love the lighting effects. That is amazing. So when the subway comes, I can see it get brighter on the characters. That's amazing. And I love the shake when the subway comes. It really feels feels good, man. It feels like a New York City subway. If you guys ever need any New York City subway shots, I live in New York, so I can get them for you. Although I haven't been down there since COVID hit. I've been staying away. I've been avoiding the subways.
Yeah. That's sensible.
Yeah. Oh, spoilers for level 3. Exactly, Amiga Live. Yeah, this is.
Can you hear? Can the viewers hear the audio? This amazing
let's turn it up.
Song.
Yeah, let's turn it up.
Yeah, please do. So yeah, I keep in mind, this is Amigas have 4 channels for sound, and this game has sound effects and music at the same time. And John and Alex managed to pull off such an incredibly rich, jazzy tune using, I think, 2 sound channels. Correct me if I'm wrong, John and Alex. Because if you hear, there's a fairly constant subway noise as the subway passes, yet you still have the music and you still have the sound effects.
It's incredible.
So,
incredible way
Alex,
to,
and just amazing job. Yeah.
It is awesome. Everyone is psyched. They're ready to buy it now. It's an awesome theme. I love how so on the top, so I guess it shows how many people I have left, how many guys I have left. I have 2, and she has 1 left. And then under that, we can see the name. Oh, look at that dirty, kicking her while she's down. You can see the name of the enemy that you're fighting, which is awesome. I love Bile.
Yes.
It's hilarious. There's some really funny stuff. Mike, when they're down on the ground, how do I jump and like land on them?
If you just jump straight up while you're already standing on top of them, just jump straight up and then tap down twice really quickly.
Oh,
and you'll slam down on them. But the other easier way to hit them while they're just tap. There you go. That you just missed. He got up. You see?
Yep, I got it.
But the other way to do it is to just hold attack and tap down, and you'll do a kick, which is less risky, and you could just keep kicking them if no other enemy is around.
That's the one. That's what I've been doing. Yo, Pixels at Dawn Gaming, thank you so much for the subscription. Pixels at Dawn says, I can't wait for this game to come out. Mr. Beagle, thank you so much for the follow. I didn't realize I had to reactivate the AI for Kim. Sorry. Thank you, Skyzu.
Well, I was going to mention, I think Alex programmed the AI system for the second player. 1, he never finished it, and 2, these enemies and this level did not exist when he programmed it. So it's good that she's doing as well as she is, considering the code for the AI has not been touched since the last time you used it, so like a year ago. At least as far as I know, the code specifically for the AI. But that's another really cool feature that we certainly plan to have in the game, is even if you're playing alone, you could choose to play as just your own solo character, or you can pick a second character to play with you and it'll be controlled by the AI.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Or of course, you could play with a friend, local co-op. What's up, Dave? What's up, Ash said hi. If you guys are just joining the stream, welcome. We are playing a brand new in-development Amiga game called Metro Siege, and we have 2 of the folks from the team. They're from BitBeam Canon. Corey Annis and Michael Parent are with us answering your questions about this stunning game that is going to work on an Amiga 500 with 1 megabyte of RAM. It's awesome. Mike, we have a few questions about ports. Is it going to be available on other systems, which you could transition into your goal for Amiga games? And other folks are asking. Yeah, I can answer the question. It is absolutely. There's going to be a physical release. Mike did mention that. It's going to be an amazing physical release with his artwork. Yeah, this is awesome. And again, if you guys have a question for them, please do at Amiga Bill so I can see it easier. That'd be rad. Oh, okay, yeah. SR Baker wants a soundtrack CD as well, as part as the physical release.
Yeah, I want that too. Like I said, I am just in awe of what John has been doing with this soundtrack. Like, I thought he did an amazing job with the first level song, and then I just assumed that most of the songs would sound similar. And then I hear the new song for this level, and it's so jazzy, but it still perfectly fits the overall mood I want for the game, and that overall, like, early 90s vigilante movie kind of soundtrack. He just nailed it on the head first attempt, and it just blew me away. So, like, I literally, I play this game all the time beyond testing it. When I play to test, I keep forgetting I'm playing to test, and I just keep playing through over and over again as both characters, in large part to hear the amazing music that John is doing. But it is, I can say, as a fan, I should be really bored of the gameplay for now. By now, I mean, because I play it so often to test it. But the amount of moves that we've given people, and that, thank goodness, Alex is such an amazing and patient and dedicated programmer. The level of sophistication, like I said, there's blocking, counterattacking. Oh yeah, I don't think I finished explaining this. So when you initiate your block, if you did it quite early and you're just holding it like you're bracing for an attack, it'll work. But if someone hits you really hard or jump kicks you, you'll go stumbling back. You'll take less damage than if you weren't blocking, but you'll go stumbling back, which leaves you open for other attacks. However, if you block just before the enemy attacks you, you'll do a built-in parry and counter attack, which does bonus damage to the enemy.
It's so sophisticated. Mike, we didn't hear this part of the music before. I just want to let the folks hear it. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll shut up.
It's amazing. The music is just stunning. Amiga Live, Mike said he's not sure how many levels there'll be at the end. Right now they've got 4 in planning, but his goal is to have the game be 30 minutes.
We planned all of them that we're probably going to have in the game. I just can't remember what the total is.
It's more than 4.
I've already done the art of the 3rd level is mostly done for environment art. The 4th level I just started today, but we have all the rest of them planned, and that's going to be my goal. Pretty much starting after this stream, is I'm going to sort of marathon through and get all of the environments done, and then start populating each environment with all the different new enemies, making sure there's enough new basic thugs and sub-bosses, and then obviously the end of every level will have a completely unique boss fight to make sure that so that it never gets boring and there's always new twists and turns and surprises to the gameplay, different types of enemies that you have to really fight in a different way. And then in general, because there's so many moves you can do and so many ways you can fight, you can choose to play the game in a very defensive way and a very kind of Tai Chi, block, counterattack, footwork kind of way, or you can be incredibly aggressive and use all physical attacks, or you could be a grappler. It really does bridge the gap between classic games like Streets of Rage 2 and something much more sophisticated like Tekken. Like, it gives you a much more advanced. You can really choose at any given moment to play with a certain style, or for an entire game. And then there's each character which plays very differently from each other character. There's the 3rd character who is also virtually complete. Their moves are done, their art is mostly done, who no one has seen yet aside from our Patreon patrons. Which, by the way, Patreon patrons, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough for all of your support, and we really look forward to your feedback. They're going to get to play the Daemon Claw demo, the same one you're playing. They're going to get to play soon.
Yeah, we're going to check out Daemon Claw in a minute. That's awesome. Yeah, so exactly, Predsata, this is a special version without the bosses that hasn't revealed the bosses yet, but there will be. Obviously, there will be bosses. Roar psyched. He said this is a Streets of Rage killer. Nice, Roar. Roar is also an amazing artist, and he's asking if Michael is going to draw the box art. And do you have any sketches of that yet, Mike?
Yes, I did already design digitally the layout for the box art, but it is going to be completely hand painted. So I figured out where everything goes. I mocked it up and I showed it to the team for approval and that kind of stuff. But I haven't started the actual painting yet. But I have the canvas in the corner of my room, a nice big canvas, and I'm going to paint either acrylic or acrylic and oil, whichever I decide to go with to get the nice. But like the best boxes you've seen for like Capcom games and stuff like that with the painted box art, that's basically what it's going to be. The style I'm going to go for. Although some of them were a little more campy than I would go for, but like actual hand-painted fine art illustration style box art.
I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Sushi is saying it's really cool how you animate the characters when they're standing still. He loves the detail. What else do I got here? Serial Surfer, thank you so much for the follow, Serial Surfer. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying it. Amiga Square is saying it'd be cool if you could grab the bikes. That's pretty rad. But what I did notice is it was when Kim grabbed the enemy and threw the enemy, I walked into it and I got hurt. Monster joysticks, take care, buddy. I'm loving playing the game with the monster stick. And that was really cool. That's a really nice detail, in the game. Is how she threw the enemies and it hurt me. Instead of just throwing the enemies into other enemies, it was cool that it could actually hurt me.
So, and that was one thing that really bothered me about almost every other game in the genre, is if you are throwing a straight jab and your ally happens to be within range, you'll actually hit your ally as well as the enemy that you're throwing a punch of. And that always annoyed me. That makes sense if you throw a giant thug into the air. Yeah, you could accidentally hurt your ally. But if you're throwing a jab and your ally is like a foot to the left, you're not going to hit that your ally. It's just stupid, especially if you're trying to help get your ally out of danger.
Sure.
So this game is really sophisticated. Thank you again so much, Alex, for like every ridiculously over-the-top idea of sophistication I had. Alex managed to pull off. But so it's very specific. You could see if you hit one enemy and send them stumbling back, or especially flying back to the ground, like, you know, they're gonna land on their back. If they hit another enemy, it'll bump that enemy, and that enemy will be momentarily off balance. But that's different from them getting hit or knocked down, right? So that's and it's the same thing with you. It's like I said, if you block too early and you're bracing and someone hits you with a drop kick, you're going to get hurt less than if you were blocking, but you're going to go stumbling back, and you're going to be open for other attacks in that moment that you're stumbling. And it's the same thing with the enemies. So if you're lucky and you hit one enemy and he flinches back, he might be close enough to another enemy behind him that he'll bump that enemy too and like knock him off balance for a second, especially if you hit him with a really hard attack. But it's not like in the other games where you can jab into a group of 5 people spread out over the cross of like several yards, and they're all reacting from that one jab. Your fist is magically like 5 feet wide, like a hammerhead shark head, and you're hitting everybody at once. Like, yeah, we really put extra work into that. There's a minor bug that should be quite easy for me to fix. It's just a matter of perfecting the collision boxes of things. But in some super specific circumstances, you can throw an enemy and end up getting bumped by the very enemy you threw. But like I said, it's rare, but it should be very easy for me to just tweak the collision boxes involved in that circumstance to make it so that can't happen. But even if that was a permanent bug, it's still well worth it for the richness and the more realism you get in the fighting mechanic of the game.
The game is so smooth and so like it just plays. It plays like so well. It's amazing. Comatron's got a good point. He said that it would be awesome if you could pick up that bat when they drop the baseball bat.
Yes, right now, unfortunately, everyone, we have to make some sacrifices or decisions. I should say it's not necessarily a sacrifice, but it's a decision, a trade, right? Fitting a game of this caliber with all these moves and complexity, not only in the memory of a classic OCS or ECS Amiga, but also just in the performance, frame rate. I decided, like I'm the sort of lead for gameplay design for this game, I decided it was way more important to have all of the time the drastically bigger variety of moves that you could do and the sophistication to the combat. Otherwise, we would have had to sacrifice that for something that's in every other game of the genre already, which is you can pick up a bat and then you have one swing you can do with the bat until you lose that bat. Like, that's cool as a bonus, but if I have to sacrifice hitting enemies while they're down and blocking and counterattacking to get that thing that everyone has already played a million times, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can take the moves with you throughout the entire game, as far as that one moment when you can pick up the bat. Yeah.
Because there are so many. I was just saying, because there are so many moves and such sophistication with blocks, counters, hitting enemies while they're down, at any moment you can choose to start playing with a different style, and that really keeps the game fresh. Whereas bats are in every level, and you pick it up and you've just got one swing, and then that's cool, especially as a bonus, but if you've sacrificed so much for it, it's not worth it. That's my point.
Nice.
So if there's ever an advanced version or an AGA version or a version with more memory, that would be one of the first things we would consider adding into the game. Like, you know, an Ultimate Deluxe AGA only version or something. That would be one of the first things we would probably add in. But it would come at too high a price, and it really was not even remotely worth considering such as an extreme trade-off.
Got you. Hey, yeah. Richard Lowenstein from Spielschreibers here, creator of Reshooter and Reshoot Proxima 3. What is up, Richard? Amazing job at Gamescom. I loved your presentation, and I can't wait to get the game in my hands and have you guys on. That's awesome. And Richard has a great point too. He loves how the paper on the poles like blows in the air as the subway comes, and that's like your attention to detail in this game is stunning. It's really, really stunning. And if I were to see this game like on my Amiga 500 back in 1987, my head would have exploded. I would. It's ridiculous.
Thank you very much.
It
really is. And we're not done with this yet. There's a thing I call urban tumbleweed, which is when you have, those free newspapers that you always get handed to you at the Metro. So there's always those newspaper pages getting blown around. So I call that urban tumbleweed. And there's almost certainly going to be some of that in this subway platform level and other things. But I'm really glad someone mentioned that. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Going back to what inspired the original games like Final Fight in the first place, those vigilante movies, the cinematic touch, and you, Amiga Bill, you noticed the lighting effect, also warning you that the train was coming. And I had to work with, and thank goodness again for Alex, he was willing to put in the extra work and optimize it so we could have that on the fly palette fading, transitioning from one palette to another over several palettes to get that effect to work. And adding that level of atmosphere, and like you said, the screen shake when a character gets thrown on the ground, all those touches are so incredibly important to make the experience really immersive and really visceral, making sure when you hit enemies or get hit that there's a visual and audio feedback that really puts you in there. Even some of the high quality Super Nintendo games that I like to play with my brother in the same genre, you didn't really feel the impact. Everyone was kind of sliding around, and you'd play a punch animation and they'd play a react animation, but it didn't have that visceral sense of contact that you really need to work on and iterate. And I'm so glad I'm working with a team that is willing to put in that extra work and just keep trying new sound effects and pitches of sound effects and changing the animation timing and all these things. They're super subtle things. The game, when you do certain moves, it actually pauses your character and the character being hit for a split second, and we can tweak that variable just to emphasize that strong impact that just happened. And it's that level of attention to detail and nuance that I'm so happy the team is committed to. And again, that just became a built-in part of this amazing engine that every future game that Alex ports or other people that might someday be able to use the engine will benefit from that.
The attention to detail is stunning, especially like when Kim electrocutes the folks, how they turn into the skeleton. That's super cool. I love that. All these details like really add up. I can't wait until folks can actually play the game, because like when you can feel this game, it's amazing. Richard's asking what the frame rate is. He said he thought it was 50, but it looks like 25 right now.
If he saw it in person, he would swear it was 50. If he played it in person, everyone that played it at Amiga 34, they had to ask, and they assumed it was 50 frames per second. It is 25, but it's a very solid 25. And it's extremely responsive. Like I said, this is my favorite genre. And I can go back and forth between playing Streets of Rage 2 for the Mega Drive or the arcade version of Final Fight, and it feels every bit as responsive to controls and as smooth as those games do. So again, that's one of the trade-offs. If you want a game of this caliber with that many large on-screen colors, on-screen characters, that many colors on screen, and that level of sophistication of combat, that's one of the things that would have been impossible to get this game running at 50 frames per second on an Amiga 500. And to me, that was a very worthwhile trade-off. Because, like, again, it wouldn't have been if we bumped it down to 25 and it felt sluggish or it looked choppy or if it didn't feel responsive. But it looks and feels incredibly smooth, especially while you're playing it.
Yeah, it really,
I'm sure
it
the
really
stream
does.
isn't doing it justice. Yeah,
it probably isn't. Even though I am technically broadcasting at 60 frames per second, because all my cameras run at 60, because I'm in NTSC world. But that's
right.
That's great, Mike. I don't miss the 60 frames per second. So many questions here. Let me see. I'm totally hooked, Roar. I'm totally hooked. The Copper's working overtime. Totally. Thornton15, thank you so much for the follow. Vamped Amiga, what is up, Vamped Amiga? What's up, Thornton15? You love Amiga, Thornton? Then you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. Thank you for the follow, Thornton. If you're just joining the stream, I'm Bill. Stream here on Twitch every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. CET, wherever you are worldwide. Today we are playing a new Amiga game that's in development called Metro Siege, and we have Mike and Corey from BitBeam on the stream with us. If you want to ask them a question, do at Amiga Bill so I can see it a little bit easier, and we'll ask them a question. We're also going to play Daemon Claw, and I think it's going to be soon. Let me finish playing through this, and then we'll fire up Daemon Claw. This is just a stunning game. It's going to work on a 1 megabyte Amiga 500. It's so cool. There's so many questions. Suncrawler 1974, thank you so much for the follow. Is there going to be an AGA version with maybe an animated story on a CD32? Asks Roar.
All right, we're definitely going to make a version that right now our target is hard drive is the best playing version, and then a disc version for people that want to actually play it and experience the nostalgia of swapping diskettes when you need to. I'm sure that's going to be very big. I think already the game is taking up its second disc, and we're only on level 2. So yeah, it'll definitely be many discs for the disc version. There will be a hard drive installable version, which is what I usually test on and what you're playing right now. Nice, fast, nearly instant load time, stuff like that. It's fantastic. And then we're certainly going to shoot for a CD version, but whether or not the extent to which the CD version has any enhancements is definitely a question mark, which will depend a lot on the overall popularity and success of the game in the first place, how much support, how many purchasers and potential purchasers, and all this will certainly have an effect on how much we decide we can realistically invest in really specific enhancements for specific formats. But it's something I'm very interested in doing and would love to do.
Yeah, maybe like a second wave after the game comes out. That's pretty awesome. Are there going to be any Easter eggs in it? Comatron wants to know.
Absolutely. As you've seen in the character select, there's at least the third playable character which you can unlock. There might end up being more before the game is released. There are other. There will be a lot of inside jokes and other unlockable things that aren't necessarily entire playable characters. But yeah, I love stuff like that, and there's definitely going to be as much as we can squeeze in without extending the development time to a ridiculous level.
Sure, yeah, because you want to make sure you get it finished.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to drag on too long. And I mean, the game is so good. I know folks are just going to be chomping at the bit to play this. Duke of Germany and Breaks187, thank you so much for the follows. I really appreciate that. Amiga Live's got a great question. Will this run any differently on an NTSC machine?
That's a great question. We have to take time to invest in testing and optimizing to see. Right now, I don't even think, you'd have to ask Alex, but I don't know if it doesn't work at all or if it just frame skips quite a bit more on NTSC. I'm an American and I grew up with NTSC, and I love NTSC 60 frames per second games, or in this case it would be 30 frames per second. But I don't know yet. That's a question mark. We'll have to work on that. But as far as I know, most NTSC Amigas, you can switch them to run PAL games, right?
Yeah, well, if you have Kickstart, I think it's 3 or no, actually 2. If you have the higher Kickstart, you can do it. With my 1200, I can switch my NTSC 1200. I can play PAL, no problem. But for example, my Amiga 500 over there, I can't. That one's NTSC only, and I have to modify it to do PAL with a different Fat Agnes. But if you have. But it's definitely doable.
So fingers crossed, we'll see. We're gonna try, but if not, worst case scenario, it'll be PAL. And if you don't have a PAL system or a system that can switch to PAL, you might need to play it on an emulated system. But hopefully that won't be the case. It's just gonna be that's a whole other side thing to explore, the level of optimization required, seeing how well we can get it running on NTSC. As someone had mentioned, we are taxing the copper to the max with all the color changes and the repeating sprite trick on level 1 and on level 2. And since you're on level 2 now, I should mention the programming for this level, again, Alex being so dedicated to doing all these crazy things. To get in this level of parallax, you have the far back layer, you have an entire giant subway train that can scroll in, and that can move at any speed, and eventually it'll come to a stop and then pull back out. And then you have the foreground, and then you have the columns in the extreme foreground. To get that all working on the Amiga, we're doing a ridiculous level of trickery and hackery and hardware banging. If you look carefully at that backmost layer, that is made out of nothing but copper-made horizontal bars of color, so lines that go completely across the screen, and then a few 3-color Amiga sprites spread out to make it look like an entire environment, with the columns, with the like movie billboard, the trash can. Those are Amiga sprites, so that's like a 1-color background back there, with some Amiga sprites and very careful copper color change, and tying it all together to make it look like a back environment and back wall and back platform. And then the crazy thing is the actual background to this level is the subway.
No way.
So the subway car that whizzes by, that's the actual background graphic. And those characters, keep in mind, are all bobs, they're all blitter objects. So Alex had to completely recode a really abstracted camera control for this level that is completely separate from the position of the level, because the level is the train, the subway train. So in almost every game ever on the Amiga that has blitter objects for the characters, of course the coordinate of the character is perfectly synced with the background. He is drawn into the background, so if you scroll the background, the character scrolls with it perfectly. But that could not be done for this level, because the background has to whiz by and stop and move at all different speeds. The foreground platform that the characters work on, that's made with the repeating sprite trick, and again, very careful copper color changes to get lines across the whole screen. So you have the gold warning area, that's nothing but copper color change. And then you have just this strip of repeating sprites to make the actual floor of the platform. So that's sprites. So basically these characters are floating in this abstracted world, separate from what looks like the background and separate from the train. So really, really tricky programming Alex had to do for us to pull off a giant, like a back layer, a giant subway, a front layer, and an extreme foreground on classic Amiga.
The tricks that you guys and Alex is pulling off are stunning. That's amazing that you're using sprites and bobs, and I can't believe that the subway's the background. I love how you connected, like you have posters in the background, and then you also have like the magazine rack and the trash can in the background, and they're the same elements that you get to interact with in the foreground. That's a really, really nice touch. Yeah. Amiga Freak 77 is asking if you guys can come to Amiga 36 UK and demo it.
How many months from now?
Yeah, sometime when things are a little bit better in 2021. I'm not sure, but I'm sure.
Yeah, we almost certainly should have the level 1 boss done by then, and/or level 3. So if one of us can make it there, I'm definitely the closest. It's a short ferry ride for me to get to the UK. Not that I've ever done it. I'd love to. So. We'll do our best. If not, maybe we can send a demo along with someone we trust so that people can play a demo there.
I'll bring it over. I want to go to Amiga 35.
Oh, if you're going, I think we would definitely trust with the build.
I was planning on going this year, but best laid plans. Retro Robbie, what's up, Retro Robbie? He's asking what the size of the game is. I know Mike, you says right now it's on 2 floppies, but to be determined once the game is completed, right?
Right.
And I just want to say, CGO Fletch, thank you so much. Many awesome and sweaty memories of saving up for my first Amiga 500 and working 2 jobs all summer to save up. Great channel, by the way. Thank you, CGO Fletch. I appreciate that very much. What's up, DJ Billy Nest? The Treasy, thank you so much for the follow. DJ Nest, you're the best. Retro Gaming Denmark's got a great question. How many colors are on the screen? It looks almost like 256.
Thank you very much. Very careful planning with copper. Believe it or not, the game thinks it is a 16-color game.
Oh my god.
So the actual background graphics is 16-color, but we're using split screen mode to some degree to get a little extra color on the HUD on the top. However, in order to get those portraits up there working with the dialogue system as well, the palettes have to be mostly the same. But then we just have, we use copper a lot to change about 5 indexes per level all over the place, vertically up and down the screen. And there's also the case of the sprites. So when you're using the sprites, those use colors from the second set of 16 colors. So I'm pretty sure John did a count early on with level 1, and I think we're in the area of like 50 to 60 something colors on screen. I haven't counted them for this level. I assume we're always in that area, but really good dedicated pixel artists can create the illusion of way more colors on screen. Corey is actually the best example for that. I hope we have a lot of time for Daemon Claw, because I really want Corey. Yeah, I want Corey to walk through that a lot. He is an absolutely amazing pixel artist, and I'm so glad he basically took over as the lead artist on Daemon Claw. And like, as far as I'm concerned, he has made, again, that game thinks at 16 color, he has made it rival the visual quality and the illusion of color of most AAA Super Nintendo games. And it's, you know, it's on an Amiga with, 512 colors instead of like, what is it, 40-something thousand that the Super Nintendo can display.
Oh, right, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, the Amiga is 4096. The Super Nintendo was like many tens of thousands.
Yeah, 5 bits per channel.
Whatever that works out to. I can't.
Yeah,
Alex,
it's like it's a pretty high number.
It's over 40,000. I can't remember. It could be 60, but it's over. Oh, sorry.
We're good. No, we're good.
Yeah. Okay, but
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
Roar said he'll buy both versions, AGA and OCS. Retro Robbie wants Mehdi Ali as a boss. That's hilarious. What else we got? If you guys want to ask a question, please do at Amiga Bill so I can see it. We're gonna switch over to Daemon Claw now. I think it's a good time for that. Nice Amiga Freak. You'll get it filmed for Amiga 2020 as well. Sweet, that'll be awesome. I love playing Metro Siege Sky Zoo. It's very addictive. It's very addictive. Zero Cryption, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. He's asking if it plays Tim the Barner, does it play better than Surf Ninjas? You know, I don't think I've played Surf Ninjas, to be honest. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let me see what else I missed. Again, if anyone's got a question, please do add Amiga Bill. Yeah, the game thinks it's 16 colors. It's amazing. Nice. All right. Well, that's Metro Siege. Congratulations, Mike, Corey, Alpine 9000, and John T. It's stunning. It's stunning so far. Richard's asking if the background behind the tube is made of sprites too.
Yes, it's just copper color changes to get basically stripes across the whole screen to like separate floor from ceiling and stuff like that. And then just like, I think 4 or 5 3-color sprites spread out horizontally that scroll and loop that kind of cement the idea that that's an environment and not just horizontal stripes. It's a very similar trick to what was used for that amazing intro, I think for Mega Man 2 on the 8-bit Nintendo, where you have what looks like parallax scrolling, where it scrolls up to the top and then Mega Man is standing on top of the building. The way they created that illusion of the parallax between the foreground building on the side of the screen and the background that scrolls slower is that whole foreground building is nothing but vertical stripes going up the whole screen. And then they just have a couple of sprites for like windows and details that create the illusion of detail that make it a whole building instead of just stripes. We're doing the same exact trick, but horizontally instead of vertically, to create a background layer that scrolls at a separate speed. Amazing.
Amiga Square says, from the looks of things, this is shaping up to be the Amiga's best ever walking along and hitting things, beat 'em up, smashing it up by considerable distance. I'm gonna agree with you there, Amiga Square. It's amazing. Thornton15 is asking, how long does it take to develop a game like Metro Siege, more or less?
We've already been at it for a year, but we all have day jobs. So if we didn't, we'd be much farther along, obviously, right now. Like if this was our day job. But again, keep in mind, there was sort of a head start in the fact that Alex was able to sort of springboard off of the progress he had made with the Worthy engine, and he just needed to add to it and change it in certain ways. And so in other words, future games will get faster and faster to develop, built on top of this now incredibly flexible and powerful Engine 9000. But so we're already in a year, but now the rate of progress was much slower for this first year because we were building and refining the engine and figuring out all the workflow and tool sets and all this stuff. All that's done now, and now we have an additional extremely strong artist, Corey, who's going to be doing. Before it was just John and myself when we had a chance, and John was helping with art and music. So having Corey on board is really also going to allow things to really pick up speed. Like I said, I'm just going to marathon through the environments as fast as I can, get them all in there, and then start to populate it to finish filling in the whole world of the game. And then it's going to be a matter of refining and finally, getting in the boss fights one at a time and making sure they're a really great and original experience from each other.
I can't wait for those boss fights. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, Bobby Zeal. I love their passion as well. I agree. Best brawler game on the Amiga. Exactly. Brother Bill, what's up? Sorry I didn't say hi before. So I think it's time to transition to Daemon Claw, and we'll talk to Corey a bit about that. Now, Daemon Claw, we are actually not going to play on the Amiga. Right now, we were seeing my Amiga 1200. Let's see, overhead cam. This is the Amiga I've been playing from. It's a real Amiga 1200, a PAL Amiga 1200, and that's what I've been playing with. Now we're going to switch over to the PC to play Daemon Claw, and there's a reason. The Daemon Claw is going to be an Amiga game, but right now it's only playable on the PC, and Corey and Mike will explain why that is. And then we have another question here. Let's explain that first, and then I don't want to forget the question. What are things that Amiga can do better than SNES or Mega Drive? But why don't you talk about Daemon Claw?
Okay, so basically there are only so many Alexes in the world, and Alex is really busy right now with Engine 9000 and Metro Siege. But Corey and I are very creative people that have actually a backlog now of easily 3 or 4 projects each that we'd love to make someday that have some art for it already done. And so basically, there was an opportunity for us to make progress on another game while simultaneously co-developing Metro Siege. And if we had to wait for and find another available and dedicated, amazing programmer, would have really slowed things down. And there's a modern development system called Construct. The latest version is Construct 3. That is so easy even an artist like me can use. You don't need to actually code. It's like a visual logic editor type thing. And we started Daemon Claw quite a bit after Metro Siege was already well on the way. So you could see you'll see soon playing the demo the amount of progress. We actually have the graphics and the core functionality for all of the levels of the game and the first boss fight done. So we've gotten this game simultaneous to Metro Siege development. We've gotten this game like 70% finished now.
Wow.
Something like that, roughly. The core
massive.
engine, the environment graphics. So yeah, so it really makes us, and keep in mind, like, Corey became a master of working within the technical constraints required to make this game work on real Amiga. So all of the graphics are very carefully done and designed and conceptualized to be completely classic Amiga compliant, right? So we know these will work well and fit in memory and fit in color, index color space and everything. So when Alex is ready to start making the port on the Engine 9000, so we already have a giant head start there on the coding side, he'll already have the vast majority of the art for the game done and ready and waiting for him to start to use.
That's quite the system you got there.
Yeah, so it allows us to work on a whole other game that can attract a whole other audience, and we can actually release the game for all modern platforms first, and hopefully start to generate support and more fans and other people interested in games like Metro Siege and the eventual Amiga port of this game. Because as I mentioned before, once Alex is ready and making the eventual Amiga game, we'll have already finished and released the first version of Daemon Claw for modern platforms, and we'll have gotten all that feedback, and we'll have had the time to clear our palette of the game and like focus on finishing Metro Siege. So then it'll be perfect. We'll be able to go back to Daemon Claw and make the ultimate version, which will be on Engine 9000, which will not only run on classic Amigas, but will run on modern platforms as well because of the amazing development system that Alex came up with. Like he can export Metro Siege on iPhone, Android, Windows, and probably things like Switch and stuff like that eventually.
The thing that makes me happy about that is, I feel like, the Amiga community is extremely passionate and extremely strong, and they're going to support you guys, 1,000%. But, but it's small. It's a limiting,
Right.
It's a small community. So even if, a huge percentage of Amiga fans buy it, it's not really enough to like keep you guys going. But by offering
Right.
your games and making them great on other platforms and modern platforms like Switch, hopefully you guys will be able to, make enough money to keep going, man, and
Right.
keep making stuff for the Amiga. And
Right.
it's awesome that you have the Amiga in mind, and you want to have it run, make sure it runs on a classic Amiga as well as the newer hardware. That's awesome. I want to fire it up, man, because everyone's gonna be psyched
Yeah,
to
go
see
for it.
Daemon
Yeah.
Claw. And Corey, I know you're gonna you got a lot to say about Daemon Claw here. There's two little versions of the game. Oh, here we go. This is loading up now. Sweet. So I see here that there's the game is inside of a little screen that is on some sort of like a retro console. And I've got two versions here. This is like the stock, the way it comes, everyone. But I made a version where it crops out the nice little computer artwork on the side, just so you guys can see the gameplay, full screen. So this is Corey's baby. Corey, do you want to tell us a little bit about Daemon Claw?
Yep.
Yes, this game started, if you might have seen it a while back, this started as a tech demo that Mike developed with Mike Ness, the programmer. And it was very basic at the time. It still looked very nice, of course. I got to give Mike the credit on that. But since then, we decided to take the concept, and we liked the idea of, while Metro Siege was going, as he was just saying, sort of trying both methods of, you can develop something with modern tools and then port it after the fact. We didn't want to put all of the weight on one end of that and try both ways to, and so the idea here is flesh out the game, give it a totally, trying our best to stay within the limitations, including this title screen. This would be a 32 color mode title screen here. We were very careful with how we worked this out. I think we're eventually going to do a video about this, talk about how we did it. So we talk about it a lot on the channel, but yeah, so
That's awesome. Yeah, if you guys want to follow
it's come a
BitBeam,
long way. Yeah.
do exclamation mark BitBeam BitBeam in the chat, and I'll link you to it. So this is right now. I'm playing this on a PC SR Baker, and but it will be available on Amiga. That's what they're doing. They are developing on PC, but they're making sure it's going to be backwards compatible. Is it going to be Retro Ralph? What's up, Retro Ralph? Corey, is it going to be like Metro Siege, where you can run it on like an Amiga 500 with 1 megabyte of RAM?
I would assume so.
Yes.
I don't believe we're doing anything in this game that would go beyond what Metro Siege is capable of in terms of hardware capabilities. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yo, Damien D from English Amiga Board. What's up, dude? Great to see you. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna play with my Xbox controller. And my instinct was to use the analog stick, but you guys use the D-pad, which is the better way to do it for a game like this. Okay, cool. I'm not sure how the sound levels are gonna be. I'll check it out. Let's hit play.
And obviously, everyone, when the classic Amiga version is made and by Alex, obviously this is how you're going to be seeing the game. Like taking up a full standard low-res Amiga screen, it's not going to have that border of the drawn, which Corey did a great job, drawn Amiga frame. That is to make it fit widescreen modern systems, everything from PC. So the very first version, like this demo, the first version that we release, it's going to be on Steam for PC, for Linux, for Mac, Xbox One, and there is the potential of even that version making it to other modern, like handheld, like the Switch and stuff like that. It is possible, but we'll see. But there's a good chance we'll just wait for the ultimate version, which will be the version for classic Amiga done with the Engine 9000, because Engine 9000 can export to modern platforms and stuff like that. So it's the best of both worlds. And we're almost certainly going to add like one other level in boss fight to the ultimate version. And like I said, by releasing the game first that way, we're going to have time to get feedback by an entire consumer base and fans and, you know, Patreon backers and all that over the time that we develop it. So by the time we make the ultimate version, we'll really get to iron out all the things and react to the feedback and improve the game, and really make the ultimate version of the game.
That sounds amazing. I'm loving the graphics so far.
Amigas.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're all psyched about this. I can't wait to see this on a classic Amiga. Pred Seda is saying that he heard you guys are looking for a classic Amiga musician, and Alistair Brimble would be a great choice. I agree.
Yes.
He's a very nice guy, very approachable.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, DJ Nest, Alex is Alpine 9000 in chat, and TSAK John is here as well. I think he's at J, it's typed at JO, and then he'll pop up. Yeah, Roar is loving the intro. I love the intro as well. The atmospheric artwork is gorgeous. Oh,
Thanks a lot.
Corey is responsible for the vast majority of what you're seeing. A lot of the main character is what's left of what I did, although he even improved that. And then in the very splash screen, he did everything except the character, but he did an amazing job with that 32 color palette, leaving me enough indexes, like spare color indexes, to do the character, and making sure that a lot of the indexes he used for the background and the menu and the font and stuff were also good colors that I could use in the character as well. So it just very, very largely due to Corey's just amazing strength as an artist that splash screen looks so amazing.
Yeah,
and the logo itself.
Does that? I hope the mix is all right, everyone. It's hard for me to mix the PC sound, so it looks good visually, like it's there, it's subtle, which is good. Let's see. Damien D. Yeah, sorry you missed Metro Siege. You can catch the VOD. It's amazing. You don't want to miss it. But now we're into Daemon Claw, and this is going to be available on the Amiga. But right now it's being developed on PC. The music is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so here I am. Let me just die. This game is really challenging, by the way. So what's I'm gonna wipe. What's the objective of the game here, guys?
Scroll from the left toward the right.
There you go.
Like most games. No, and there is a really nice plot. We don't want to reveal too much, but that opening cinematic, which was like a hacked together kind of sped up version of the full intro cinematic, which shows one triptych image at a time and has more text to really explain the story. But in general, this is actually the prehistory of a whole world with a history. Like, this is going to be a whole franchise. We have future games planned that are many generations later in the history of this world. So this is one of the oldest in the oldest history of this world. The human race was the last of the upright races to appear on this world of Nar, and there are already these more mythical type beings, like these birdmen, and there's other, I won't reveal too many, but there's like these different other upright, intelligent, sentient races in the world, right? And when the human race is the last to appear, and they start humbly, but very quickly over time, they spread and they develop technology and agriculture, and as they are spreading in the world, the other more mythical creatures, they start peacefully and quietly receding back to their homeland. Up high in the mountains, and then suddenly, all at once, they attack all of the human villages and kingdoms. All these different mythical races suddenly attack the humans. And this main character here, the character you play, he's a basic soldier in the military of one of the kingdoms, or the main kingdom that the story takes place in. And he's about to join his brethren in battle when the chief mage, which is like the wizard advisor to the king, specifically chooses him and pulls him aside and says, "I've got a special mission for you." And he gives him a magical bracelet that is Daemon Claw. Daemon Claw is an ancient, very powerful magical artifact that is like a gauntlet or a bracelet at first. And then when you collect enough magical energy by destroying these mythical creatures, then it becomes a magical gauntlet that gives you very powerful magical attacks. And it's the gauntlet is completely different per level. So the idea is whatever magical enemies you face, the gauntlet will transform and give you magical powers that help you best fight those particular creatures that you're fighting. So in each level, the two games that inspired the game's gameplay was Black Belt for the Sega Master System. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see Corey and I playing Black Belt and discussing it and how it influenced Daemon Claw, and also Altered Beast. And the way Altered Beast influenced this is you power up by defeating enemies and collecting magical orbs, and then each level you get a different power. But in this case, you don't change to a different looking like were animal. The gauntlet and the magical power you get is different. So that's the general plot. There's a cool plot twist, and there's interesting subplots going on as well that we won't reveal yet. But the Patreon patrons got to sit in on our actual... We recorded several actual design scrums, design meetings, where Corey and I actually came up with the plot, actually came up with the gameplay, actually came up with the design for the level 1 boss. So you actually get to be, the patrons get to be a fly on the wall and actually watch the creative process happen and can actually see when the exact ideas and how they came to be. But anyway, so that's, as you can see, once you've collected the full amount of magical power, if you collect one more, you get that glowing, I call it a cloak, an energy cloak, because I'm a Naruto fan, which might be sacrilege to Alex. He's a big Dragon Ball fan. I don't know if he appreciates both series. But anyway, and then once you have that full magical cloak, not only is your magic maxed out to an even higher than the maximum level, but also now if you take a hit of damage, instead of losing a health point, you just lose that cloak. So it's like a bonus extra hit point, and while you have it, you're way stronger than normal, than even the normal max magic power. So there's level 2. Remember, level 2 has not been gameplay balanced at all. We just wanted people to be able to appreciate more of Corey's gorgeous art.
It's amazing.
And remember, this game also thinks it's a 16-color game, and it's under even more strict graphical limitations than Metro Siege, specifically because the original proof of concept working version that I made was in Amos, which has very severe restrictions to not only how much blitzing power it can do per screen update, but more importantly, you can only change one color index per entire row on the screen. Whereas
I believe
if you're,
you know, in this level too, I think we're only changing one for like just for the sky color back there, and the rest of it is within the 16 colors, minus the HUD, which would be its own set of 16 colors, and any sprite usage, which would be the foreground objects, which are really only 3 colors in transparency. So
The game is amazing. It's stunning to play this game. So the moves are very interesting and unique. So the way I'm doing those power moves, like the power punch in level 1, and now the electrocution here in level 2, is like you push down and you crouch, and then you hit your fire button. And I love how you can like jump up in the air and then smash down. That's really super helpful. The enemies are incredible. These little goat dudes are hilarious. Let me just catch up on the chat a little bit. Corey and Mike, this is amazing. Interesting. Amiga 1200 Gamer's got a good one. He's saying that you guys have the experience and the ability to develop for more commercially viable platforms. So you're interested in why you guys developed for the Amiga in 2020.
Awesome question. It is our goal at BitBeam Canon We just love retro games, and we want to be able to do that as our full-time job, develop our own games. So even a couple of years ago, it would have been lunacy for us to focus and spend a bunch of time purely on an Amiga game. But there has been a paradigm shift, a massive change in very recent history that makes it perfectly viable to make a game, but here's a twist. A game that runs on modern platforms, but has the bragging rights that it also runs on real classic 30-something-year-old hardware. Retro games are huge. Retro style games like Shovel Knight have made to exaggerate slightly, $1 bajillion for Yacht Club games, and there are many, a huge amount of retro games that are doing incredibly well. There's a giant market for retro games if your retro game is just really good, high quality, and very fun. Not great for the Amiga. You have to make a great retro game that is really fun to play and looks great and sounds great. So that's our goal. That's why we're not stopping. Like, we're really passionate not just about the art side, but game design side. We are very much Japanese arcade console fans. And, we've been in the industry a long time. Both Corey and I have done game design as well in the industry. So we're just as passionate about that as we are in the visuals. We need our games to be incredibly fun and addictive. And so the point is, thanks to Alex and his incredible engine, we get to make a game at relatively the same speed as if we were working with a programmer that was programming the game in Unity or something like that, especially now that the Engine 9000 is so robust. So not only does it not really slow us down because we're working with a great programmer that's handling that and letting us worry about design, but it's the best of both worlds. It's not just retro style and on modern platforms. It's real retro. It runs on modern platforms, and we get to brag, hey, this runs on a 30-something-year-old computer too. So suddenly it's not a downside that we're catering to the Amiga community, which has been a lifelong dream of mine anyway, to make AAA games for Amiga. But that's no longer a downside. So long as we can make the games every bit as high quality as we would have if we were developing it on our own or another system, so long as the game is really fun and addictive and we do our job on the marketing end, which, we have to make sure we appear on shows like yours and others and just establish a social media presence and fan base as much as we can before the games are even released. That's a really important thing for modern game marketing to be successful. So that's the big paradigm shift. It is very possible now with a really good programmer to come up with a game engine and work on your game in a way where you're going to be able to hit modern devices and classic Amiga at the same time. That's one of.
Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
No, that's an amazing strategy. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and that's one of our big goals. It's not just, and luckily it's happening. Like, since our first discussion in Amiga 34, where I brought this up to the community, it's happening, and it's happening in incredible ways. You've got Eric Hogan's Scorpion engine he's been working on. Like I said at Amiga 34, and I think in a conversation with you, I'm introducing example code in Amos because that's what I can do, but that show you how to get Super Nintendo-like translucency effects on a regular Amiga, even in Amos, with still having good performance. And then you can go to our website, to the Classic Amiga section. You can download the actual Amiga code for the proof of concept of Daemon Claw, and you could use it to make your own game if you want to. You obviously just have to replace all the graphics. Don't use our Daemon Claw character and art and stuff. There's a tool I made called Rainbow Ripper specifically for the background of Daemon Claw. That amazing back layer that Corey created there, that thinks it's two colors.
Right.
That's one color that stays the same, and then one color, because of that Amos limit, that's coppered all the way down with the gradients to make it look so much richer. And Corey has a great image that he sent you on Discord, Bill, that will demonstrate that really well.
Let's check it out right now.
Do you want to take over? Do you want to take over, Corey, and explain the image?
I'm gonna pull up the image now.
Okay.
Let's lower the volume here a little bit. Awesome. While I'm pulling it up, Walker GR has got a great question. He said, are the PC and Amiga versions coming out at the same time? Because folks really want to support you guys. So he's not, about buying, if you buy the PC version, you get the Amiga version. Do you have any plans for that kind of situation?
Yeah, for Metro Siege, it should come out on everything, including Amiga, Classic Amiga, at virtually the same time. Daemon Claw is going to be very different. There's going to be the PC version first, which might remain. We don't know. It depends on how long things take, the porting process and all that to Classic Amiga. But at first, it'll just be modern platforms and Xbox One and stuff like that. But then, depending on how long it takes and how soon Alex is able to start with the porting process, hopefully it won't be a giant wait between the PC version and the Amiga version. But we'll definitely consider doing something where if we make a boxed version for PC, we'll definitely consider something like if you bought that, then you'll be able to download and maybe we'll even mail you the actual floppy disk labels. And then so you could basically convert your boxed PC version into the boxed Amiga version.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
That
Like
makes
you
sense,
basically, if you bought the PC version, you'd get the downloadable Amiga version and like the diskette labels or something like that. We could certainly consider doing something like that. Or, it won't hurt us too bad. The downloadable PC version on Steam, this is not going to be an expensive game in the DLC version. So if you want to really support us, you can buy
buy
the
both.
modern version
Yeah.
and then get the boxed version when it comes out and get all the really nice swag and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But really, the price point is going to be for Daemon Claw is going to be very, very low.
It's not a $65 AAA price tag. No.
Not at all. We won't reveal the price yet because Corey and I need the time to really decide
Sure.
on the exact price and probably discuss it with Alex since he has to invest in all the time. And by the way, official announcement, we made this announcement on the other stream. We are indeed we would really love to get one of the very well-known, very amazing, accomplished Amiga musicians. If you're watching or if you catch wind of this, you know who you are, everyone. I don't want to say all the names, and I would hate to forget one of them and insult them. But they all know who they are. Like it's obvious already. Like Hulsbeck's already been mentioned. Alistair has already been mentioned. They would be amazing. David Whitaker, Shadow of the Beast. Like it's very obvious that was Whitaker, right?
Yep, David Whitaker.
So yeah. So it would be. Like it's very obvious to us that those three would be able to just hit a home run. They'd each be very different, but they could all just do something amazing for this game. So we're going to do our best to get the contact information for all of these amazing Amiga musicians. Obviously, it would be great for marketing for us and as a dream of mine as a longtime Amigan to get any one of these amazing, famous Amiga musicians to do the soundtrack for Daemon Claw. And that's what we want for day one. Even for this modern console PC version, we want the music to be like high quality MP3s of real legit Amiga music. We want it to be the same music once Alex does the port. So we're gonna do what we can to get a hold. But if you see this stream or this video later when it's not live, and you're interested, please contact us at mail@bitbeamcanon.com or contact Amiga Bill and he'll
I'll hook you guys up.
he'll make the connection. But man, would we love that. And any of you guys, you know who you are. We would be thrilled to talk to you and work out what we need to get you to do the music for the game.
I think we can help you guys out. Hopefully, we can get someone. That'd be amazing. Speaking of the audio, Dr. Scrawny99, thank you for the follow. Tim's asking who did the audio for this demo that we've been watching.
That's a great question. The music is purely royalty-free stuff that I got from different royalty-free sources. The sound effects are all custom made by me, but they're definitely going to need to be tweaked once there's the official soundtrack to make sure that it works really well within the given vocal range, so to speak, audio range of the music itself. Like if there's a very bassy sound and then the music is very bassy, it might get lost. You might not hear the sound effect well. So that all needs to be rebalanced once there's the legit actual sound,
Right,
like
right.
music for the game. But I would love to work with any of these great Amiga musicians and balance that out, and they would have free reign to not only have creative be able to make the music for the levels, but help tweak the sounds to work as well as possible with the music so that there's no clash at all.
That's wow, that's quite the plan you got there, Mike. Pred stated that is placeholder music. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oram's asking if you have an accelerated Amiga, will the games like Metro Siege and Daemon Claw still run, or will that cause any problems?
Well, we've been testing a lot on emulated and real Amiga 1200s, and you just played it on an accelerated Amiga
Yep,
1200.
I've got an
and it's
030 in
been
this one.
and it's been tested on a real Amiga 500, and it runs the same on all of them, except for level 2. There's some places where we didn't optimize and we have too many things on screen. So right now, because of the sloppiness, because level 2 isn't done, that would have some frame skips on an Amiga 500 right now, but that'll be fixed. So it'll run great on an Amiga 500, and it'll run the same. From everything we see, we're already testing that. And your Amiga 12,000 is quite accelerated, isn't it?
It's
Or the
it's
processor?
40 megahertz. It's an 030 40
Yeah, there you
megahertz.
go.
Yeah, yep. So
Yeah.
it's very
So
fast
that's
compared to
already
the
like
7.
several orders of magnitude faster than an A500. So
Yeah.
so yeah, an accelerated Amiga should not cause any problems.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
again, Alex.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm going to I want Corey to explain what's on the screen right now. Then I'll go back to the game. I see Captain John's got some questions. I think Oram's got some more questions. I'll try and get them all. Again, if you do at Amiga Bill, I'll catch up eventually. So what are we seeing here, Corey? These are our pictures that you sent me. This looks like the background of Daemon Claw.
Yeah, this is basically just demonstrating the two color background. It thinks it's two indexes. You have the one bright color and the dark color, and then you just have the band of copper color. This one's very simple to show the process, but it gives the illusion of appearing to have way more color back there, and it's very simple, very small graphics too that we fit in there. So it's enough to we do this for each level. I would say this could be possibly expanded on and made more robust, but we wanted to keep it simple for this particular game and have the emphasis on the foreground, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice and atmospheric and really back in the distant. I also have to say again, like Corey's too humble, so I'm gonna brag for on Corey's behalf. But it's especially limiting because of that Amos limitation that necessarily won't be a limit when Alex does the real port. So there might end up being quick, easy enhancements we can do to the ultimate version that actually runs on Amiga. But if you look at it's far more limiting because that one color, so you have one color that you can change, the background sky color, but the other of the two colors you can't change because of that Amos limitation. So that's what he's working with, and that's the beautiful atmospheric. That's one of the backgrounds, and there's another screen that you get to see another one of the backgrounds at play. And go ahead, take it away, Corey, for the second image.
Yeah, this is a couple of the different environments to show how, 16 colors. The magenta there in the third value would represent the changeable copper color in the background, and that is the only one that actually uses that, with the exception of I think I might be changing one for that water in the swamp level at the bottom. But otherwise, it shows how between the levels, since the characters and the environments are drawn with the same 16 color palette, we're altering the colors a little bit between each level to give it a different vibe and have sort of a different look for the enemies. But we had to be very careful and keep all of the indexes in the same places. And this kind of shows the difference between two levels, how you get the illusion that it's the same colors, but you're in maybe different lighting or something like that.
Right, ambient,
and so this, so it's going to be this way for pretty much each environment that changes in the game. So, yeah.
Yep. So someone just said Corey is a god in pixel graphics.
He
I
is.
completely agree. I said that to him
Thank
recently.
you.
He showed me some mock-ups the other day, and I spared no words in my worship of his godliness of color usage. But look at those two screens. Look how different they look and feel, not only in texture but in color, especially and atmosphere. Keep in mind, most other games that were ever developed where you had to share the same 16 colors that are used for the characters, right? Like the levels would look incredibly similar in overall color to each other because they thought, oh, well, all those colors have to stay the same for like the hair, the skin tone of the character, the clothes, like, you know what I mean? But we came up with this concept where even though we can't drastically change those colors, something you understand incredibly well, Amiga Bill, as a photographer and videographer, there's ambient light, there's the reflected light, there's how that light affects the colors that you're seeing, even in a person's skin tone. And I could be wearing a white shirt, and under certain lighting, oh, it's like that meme of the is that dress gold and black or
Right.
blue and whatever. It's like depending on what is around it and the reflected light. So and it works so well if you look at the skin tones of the player character in the Arctic setting and the very cold setting. His skin is pinker, which would actually happen
Yep.
in the cold. Your skin would get pinker,
Yep.
and there's it. So it adds
And he looks
it. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
without getting too gross, he looks sweatier in the other environment. There's a little
Yeah,
more
exactly.
contrast with the skin.
Specularity.
Yes, yes. So
Yep.
it looks like he's in a muggy swamp. Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
It's a.
the
Yep.
stunning thing is that, I mean, there are two drastically different environments. On the left, in the winter scene, you've got like white snow, it's bright sunlight,
Yeah.
and there's like reflected light everywhere. And then over there on the right, inside like the swampy forest, it is not a bright sunny day. It's like I can feel like the thick atmosphere. It's dark. It's much darker instead of bright sunlight. I mean, there's just kind of like some sort of like, it looks like there's a bit of a glow coming from like the gold on the bottom of the ground, and everything else is like really
Yep.
dark. It's like very twilight feeling. It's incredible how the moods in the two photos and the environments are 180 degrees apart from each other.
Right. And again, this game thinks it's 16 color, and only two of those 16 colors can be drastically changed per level.
Amazing.
And this is what Corey is capable of. So anyway, just fantastic stuff.
It's amazing.
Kudos, Corey.
Yeah, Corey, you rock. I want to keep playing the game because it's so fun. Well, I'm probably way behind on the questions. I apologize for that. Yo, Karate Car Racing New Zealand, thank you for the follow, and Doter Manhattan, thank you for the follow. you guys are, yeah, we are witnessing an impressive talent. Let me go back and see if I can find some of the questions here. Let's see. Captain John Archer is saying Alpine 9000 is engine 9000. So why the 9000 Alpine 9000? I don't know if you can answer that in the chat. We can't really answer that for you on the screen.
I can answer.
Oh, you can answer
that
it. There we go. Go for it, Mike.
For Alex,
Yeah.
because I asked the same thing, but it became clear every inside working name for every aspect of Metro Siege was a Dragon Ball Z reference. So there's a classic meme and audio clip of, I believe, Vegeta saying, "What, over 9,000?" about the power level of someone else.
Yep.
So that's where that
It
comes
became
from.
a meme, and yeah, it's
Yeah. So like Engine 9000 is like a ridiculously high power level, basically, from a Dragon Ball Z standpoint.
Cool.
Something so shockingly high it completely dumbfounded Vegeta.
Hey Corey, on your
Yeah.
microphone, can you
Yeah.
increase that a little bit? Because I'm trying to mix. It's so funny because like when we were doing the test, you were really
Okay.
strong and Mike was low, and now he's a little bit higher than you. Yeah, amazing work,
Sure.
guys. Sep Lemon Amiga is saying, will the non-Amiga version only be available on Steam?
No, we're going to make it available as many ways as possible. Sorry, I was out in the fog and I didn't catch which game you're talking about, but either way, it doesn't matter. I already am a Steam publisher, so both games will definitely end up on Steam, but both games will also definitely end up on lots of other platforms. We're definitely pursuing Switch, and for Daemon Claw, even the first version of Xbox One is actually quite easy. for us to release. So, and I know Alex can answer better what platforms he's already tested on, but I know for sure he's already tested on iPhone, Android, Windows, I think Mac or Linux as well. I'm pretty sure Mac. And we're definitely exploring getting it on things like Switch and other platforms. And again, like a lot of this is going to depend on how viable that investment seems. So we're going to really, as these demos improve, and especially once we get the musician lined up for Daemon Claw and we get the first full vertical slice of Daemon Claw, where you'll be able to play through a completely finished level 1 and boss fight and most of level 2, we're really going to start going on a lot of different YouTube channels and doing interviews with different retro game blogs and stuff like that. That's an incredibly important aspect, as I said before. We need to make this game popular and supported far beyond the Amiga community, which obviously I love and appreciate. But we really want to do this. Imagine what we've done this with Daemon Claw and Metro Siege in a little over a year. Just, we already have day jobs that take usually more than 8 hours a day, and this is what we've been able to accomplish. Imagine what we could do in that same amount of time if it is our day job. So that's really what we're trying to make happen. And the other real benefit is if we manage to get these amazingly good, powerful, easy to use game engines and development systems like the Scorpion engine is fastly evolving into, and it can make games that work on Amiga and modern platforms at the same time, and we manage to prove that it can be financially successful to do so, and prove that the Amiga community is really supportive of developers making high-quality games, then that could attract developers who may have never heard of the Amiga before, because retro game making is huge. There are so many. Corey and I know personally some of the other best pixel artists in the industry, and they would be itching
We worked
for the
alongside
chance.
them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For a while, yeah.
They would be itching for the chance to, they have no knowledge or care of the Amiga. But if they could work in a supportive community with a development system that's already set up, with a well-tested engine, with a tool set that's easy to use, and make the retro game of their dreams and have that added bragging right, it runs on a 30-year-old system, suddenly they would care about Amiga. And regardless, that tiny bit of extra work it would make to spit out the Amiga, classic Amiga version, as well as the version that runs on modern platforms, that's really, as an Amigan, that's one of the goals I really have. No matter what, even if Amiga didn't exist or had no chance of ever making money indirectly, I'd still be doing side project Amiga stuff, but you'd get one game every 5 years that I had something to do with, just because of the sheer amount of time it takes, and it would be forced to be a part-time thing for me. But so we're trying to prove to ourselves and others that you can viably make games that happen to run on Amiga, and we want to pull in whole new fans and whole new AAA developers that want to make a great retro game anyway. We want to help make the tool sets and everything and prove it can be done. We want to be the success story that attracts a whole bunch of other up-and-coming indie developers to a development system that can export classic Amiga games, if that makes sense.
That is quite the pep talk right there, Mike. I love it. And of course, as Amiga fans, we want you guys to get as much support as possible on all the platforms, so you can keep developing stuff for the Amiga as well. That's incredible. Right on, Amiga Freak. I know you got some connections there. Roar, have a great night. I hope, give my best to the girls. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed the stream. Hoffman's one of my favorite musicians too. He's amazing. It is impressive work, guys. I'm trying to scroll through here, see if will this game run at 50 frames per second, Daemon Claw?
I know for sure the PC version will. I can't really, with Construct, I don't think there's any real way to cap it. I actually would, just to be safe, cap it at 30 frames per second. But this Daemon Claw is actually less taxing. There's way less big moving objects on screen at any one time compared to Metro Siege.
Right.
So it will be easy to make it run better on classic Amiga than Metro Siege. but I don't know if that'll be so much better than it can be full 60 instead of half, like 30,
Right.
or 50 and 25 in the case of PAL. But the other thing is, because it's much less taxing, there's a much better chance that NTSC support won't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
Metro Siege is just a more taxing game.
It's amazing. The artwork is incredible, Corey. Ashpod
Thanks.
Ashpod of Life is asking, when finished, will this engine be developed even further?
Oh yeah, assuming they're talking about Engine 9000, absolutely. There's already plans of it being expanded to handle side-scrolling games like this. And then we don't want to reveal too much right now, but Corey and I are already fantasizing and already brought up the topic to Alex about potentially doing a game in a slightly similar genre to Metro Siege, but fully enhanced to finally show what kind of game like this that AGA Amiga could do. Like, I actually owned a CD32 with the SX1 back in the day, before it was like completely old news, like when it was a new product, so to speak. And it frustrated me even more because that was supposed to be a game console. And while there were some very nice AGA games, in my opinion, none of them really achieved the level of arcade and console quality that they could have. And Corey and I would love, and you see what a good artist Corey is. Like, he's got several game designs that I can't wait to help him make a reality. Like, I'm more excited about those upcoming projects than I am with these projects, and you can tell how passionate I am about these projects. Like, I would love Corey to lead design and art direct that game that I'm talking about. That will be like Metro Siege engine, but AGA, and a different, like the same general genre as a beat 'em up, but different.
That would be amazing. I
That's
know
all
one
I
of
wanna say for now.
one of the gripes about AGA is that, like you said, it was never, people didn't really take advantage of it. A little too late.
Yeah.
All the real classic Amiga games are all OCS and ECS games.
Right.
So there's definitely feel like AGA wasn't taken advantage of, and you guys certainly have the tools to do it. Corey, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here? I'm not playing well right now because I'm trying to read the chat too. Just explain a little bit about the layout of the game. I see in the at the top of the screen when we get into the game. I love the opening, by the way, too.
That gorgeous "you lose" scene.
Yeah.
That's my art.
Oh, there we
right?
go.
That's placeholder art. But yeah, go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, so at the top I see there's like a gauntlet or something, and it fills up. It's holding a ball or something, and the X3 I guess is the lives, and we got a bunch of stuff going on there.
One of the I believe it's the one on the left is your like, basically you get the orbs from the enemies, and I believe we have it worked out where there are two colors and you can get them in different circumstances from different enemies, so you could actually strategize which one you fill. One, when they fill up, then you'll see the little the warning arrow on the right side of the screen where one of the power-ups will fly by, and you have to do a high jump to get it. Very similar to something like Black Belt in terms of the way the power-ups fly by. And then the other one is your magic, so that will give you the gauntlet power-up. And you start without it. You just have the little armband, and when you get it for the first time, he gets it. And I think you can get it up to 3 more times to power it up until you get into like the sort of super mode. And your moves, all your special moves that you can do with the gauntlet, get more powerful each time, each iteration.
I love that one when you shoot down.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, a little meteor.
Right, and then there's that blue meter is like a cool-off meter, so you can't spam your powerful magic attacks.
Right.
That blue meter has to have refilled itself to at least a certain degree for any given magical attack. So certain magical attacks are weaker and take less of that blue meter, so you could do maybe 2 or 3 in a row before the meter completely drains, and it quickly grows back, but that stops you from spamming really powerful magical attacks. And then the rest Corey was explaining very well.
Yeah, and you can see how in level 2 it changes to a different type of gauntlet. You have like a lightning gauntlet, and that's sort of the premise, is that in each level your powers, even though the way you pull them off is the same in terms of what you do, they'll be a little different in each level, so a different sort of magic, so to speak.
Yeah,
And
sometimes-
we've already talked about the other ones that we'll potentially use, but they may be subject to change based on how we feel that it plays and things like that. So.
When Corey says we talked on it, he means internally. He doesn't mean during this live stream.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But,
I love all the different moves you can do. I love that power move when you slam down. It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if people saw that, but if you jump up in the air and hold up and press attack, you'll do a big overhand clobber move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and if that move hits one of the air-based enemies, it sends that air-based enemy flying down to the ground, and that can hit one of the land-based enemies and does a lot of damage. So there's a lot of cool tricks like that. You just jump up. It's especially easy with the high jump, and then you keep holding up and you press the attack button.
Oh,
so jump up. Well, I don't know there's a delay. There you go. Yep, that's it. So if you hit one of the falcons in this level with that move, which is a little hard to time, it'll send it flying to the ground like a meteor, and that can smash one of the walking bird men right in the face, and it does quite a bit of damage. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm trying to do it. It's tricky because the falcons, you really have to start early. I'm gonna try and do this move. Let's see.
There's definitely a lot of muscle memory to this type of gameplay design. The more you play it, definitely the better you get. You know what works and doesn't, and patterns. This game will be fantastic for speed runs in that regard. And then, I was going to say, so without the flaming or the magical gauntlet, you always have an uppercut move, which is down and attack, and then you have that overhead air clobber move, which is just attack, up and attack. And then, so when you get the different magical gauntlet per level, those moves transform into something different, which serves roughly the same general purpose. And then you also get that flame or whatever that extends outward when you throw a punch, right?
Yeah,
it can be very different but from level to level, and the gameplay style can change a lot between when you have the gauntlet and when you don't, and between gauntlet. Like in the first level, you've got the flaming uppercut, so it stays an uppercut between when you have the gauntlet and not. But in the second level, you don't fly up in the air at all. You shoot lightning up the screen, basically, up and down the screen.
What were we gonna say, Corey?
Oh, I was gonna say the way you were shooting that meteor with down and attack while you're in the air. If you do that when you don't have the power, he does like a drop kick sort of move as well. So I think that's another one that we, like in some levels it will stay more of a kick, but in this one that was the one we decided to drastically change, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some will be drastically different. We can reveal, like currently planned, and it might change. In one of the levels, there's you get a gauntlet that gets like ice power, and it can actually freeze airborne enemies, and they'll fall and shatter, or if they hit something when they fall, it'll hurt the thing it lands on. So that'll be drastically different gameplay, because suddenly you'll have, like, your punch will do something that goes further across the screen, basically like an ice beam, like in Super Metroid. Maybe not across the whole screen, but it'll be like a fireball, but ice magic thing that actually travels out. So the gameplay is going to change quite a bit per level. And like I said, level 2 isn't done, and each boss fight is going to be very different. The patrons have already seen the level 1 boss fight in progress, and hopefully they will attest to our attention to detail and the sophistication. It's a very large on-screen boss, animated with the same modular animation trick that the characters in Metro Siege are. You have like these big body parts, and each frame of animation is repositioning the body parts and swapping out the images when you need to of a given body part. So it allows us to fit a very big boss enemy in the game with a ton of different moves and reactions to getting hit. And it's all about attention to detail. They're called video games for a reason, keyword video, and you need really good visual feedback to let you know when you did something good or something bad, to reward the player. And not to reveal too much, but obviously at the end of level 1 you have the fire power. And let's just say when you hit the boss with the flaming uppercut at the right moment, there's a special getting hurt animation for the boss for that particular thing, letting you know, yes, that messed him up good, do more of that.
Yeah, we like
You
the
know?
idea of the power you have in any particular level being unique to that boss in various ways. So
It makes each
Right. Yeah, like
encounter
I said,
more unique.
yeah, and like I said, and the gameplay will change more drastically that way between levels. Like I said, like the plot in one of the aspects of the plot is one of the magical aspects of this. It's not just a magical gauntlet. It senses the type of magic and mystical enemies that you're fighting, and it adapts and gives you that particular magical gauntlet with that particular magical power that is best for fighting that enemy. So that applies especially to the bosses. So you're going to gain your gauntlet and learn it over the course of the level, and each level it's going to be unique. And then by the time you've reached the boss, hopefully you've earned it and practiced it enough that now when you fight the boss, you know that at least one of these magical attacks is going to be extremely effective against that boss.
right.
And then you figure out the patterns and stuff like that. And like all good classic arcade and console games, the bosses go through a few different patterns of behavior depending on how much you've hurt them so far. So very sophisticated, very console-like gameplay.
Very cool. Thoradin, my favorite Amiga games it's a tough call. My favorite classics, I like Another World. I like Shadow of the Beast for its technical prowess. I like Lemmings, Speedball 2. Those are some of my favorites. They're also asking what a couple of your favorite games are, Mike and Corey. Just throw a couple out there.
Yeah, mine on the Amiga. Remember, Corey he did not grow up an Amigan like I did. So I am very grateful to have him here working on Amiga games with me. But for me, it was my brother and I played a lot of Blood Money and Battle Squadron. My brother was really, really good at games and also shmups. So he really carried my weight when I was the younger brother. So like we always won those games. So I always had a blast playing those two particular two-player games with him. Aside from that, Battle Squadron, Blood Money. Other than that, I largely watched my brother play, although I did play one of the Turrican or two all the way through, and I really enjoyed those. And of course, the music is amazing. I'm trying to butter up a certain musician that I hope is watching the stream, and or ends up watching it. And then what else? Turrican. Oh, and Zool. I played through I think Zool 2 on the CD32 all the way through. So that was a pretty fun game. But
Even though
Yeah.
I didn't have an Amiga when I was young, I did play some games that I believe were still available on Amiga, though. Ones that I remember distinctly, of course, SimCity. I think everybody played SimCity, the original DOS game, and also the game Star Control.
I love Star Control.
I love Star Control. I played the Mega Drive version though, but I know it was available for lots of different things back then.
Yeah, Star Control is great. I used to play. That was a great multiplayer game. I used to go over to my buddy Rob's house, and my buddy Anthony, and
very
I
good.
very good multiplayer. That's awesome. Woo! This game's got so many different things you can do. It's awesome. The style and art color look fantastic. Agreed. Ooh, Retro Gaming Denmark. Yo, what's up, Riot Retro Gaming? Retro Gaming Denmark's got a good question. Do you guys plan on doing any sort of Sodan style game with huge sprites? Sword of Sodan is actually one of my favorite classic Amiga games. I love Sword of Sodan. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sword of Sodan, Corey. This is a cool Amiga game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I think we briefly discussed it, but you might not remember specifically what game it is when we prepared for our Forensic Pixology Amiga YouTube video, Corey.
Right,
that was the game that the characters were massive on screen, and there were several, and it was a colorful 32 color, I think, game.
Right.
But
yeah.
the animation was really choppy, and the gameplay wasn't really great, especially compared to like a console or arcade game like Golden Axe or something. But it impressed the hell out of me. As a young teenager, the first time I saw the game, and I did play that game all the way through several times. So not to knock it, it was a technical marvel for the time. I mean, people were like going from 8-bit Nintendo to seeing Sword of Sodan, which was just breathtaking. But again, it's the level 1 boss in Daemon Claw is similar in size to like a Sword of Sodan boss, but the main character stays the same size, so there's a great sense of scale. Like always for us, gameplay comes first, and then the overall visual appeal and performance, which ties into gameplay. So we wouldn't make a game with giant characters all over the screen for the sake of doing that if the compromise was the game didn't play really well or the animations were really choppy or anything like that, right? It's like that's like a thing that's like a bragging checklist, really big characters, right? That could be cool, but at what cost? And is it worth that cost? And so it's very unlikely we would come up with a game design where it would be worth the cost to gameplay and overall smoothness of animation of everything on screen just to check off that list. Like, look how big those characters are.
It's
If
not,
that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. You the gameplay is primary. Is the primary thing for you guys. It doesn't matter how big the sprites are. The other cool thing about, you know, you're saying you're killing me at the bosses. I really want to see it. The bosses being bigger than your regular character is it gives you a sense of scale. You know, when everyone is a big sprite, you can't tell if one character is bigger or stronger than another character. Purple Hazemaker, this game is great, dude. It's awesome. Welcome to the stream, Purple Haze. Oh, if I wasn't reading the chat, I would have gotten that. This game is super fun to play. Woo! See, there you go. A little defensive move there. I love how you can like take these guys out. Either you can either avoid them or just attack them. It's really cool.
Yeah. And as Corey had mentioned, depending on the way you kill an enemy, what attack you use, it'll either release maybe one blue orb and one red orb, or two blue orbs or two red orbs. So there's a lot more strategy to the gameplay than you think. You can also stay in one place and grind. If you stay in one place, enemies will eventually start coming at you from the front and behind. So you can wait in one place and say, well, I want to get my magic full first, or I need to replenish my health before I reach the sub-bosses who will kill me because I only have one hit point left. And then you can decide, if you need health replenishment, you'll end up going, oh, I know if I kill these enemies this way, I'll get that health replenishment way faster. Or if I kill them this way, I'll power up my magic way faster. So there's a lot more nuance. Like, it really plays, it scratches an itch that almost no game these days does. It's a really classic, simple, fast action Twitch arcade style game, very similar to Black Belt on the Sega Master System, but we added a much more modern standard of nuance to the visuals, to the animations, to the sophistication of gameplay, but it still has that it scratches that visceral carnal itch of really simple Twitch action gameplay, which is that's what we were going for.
I hope I can remember all that.
Well, and I think too, if it wasn't mentioned already, like the advantage of having your gauntlet overpowered when you're flashing, I think is that when you take a hit, you don't take a health hit, and it just depletes your magic meter. So it kind of gives you you lose, but you lose that top tier power. So it kind of like it absorbs the hit for you, so to speak.
Oh, that was cool. I just defended myself.
Yeah, you can create those frantic situations where, like, if you've only got like one health piece left, you might be tempted to just overpower the gauntlet, you know, that way, and it gets crazy. Yeah,
I got a little bit aggressive there at the end of stage 1 because I was not healthy and I was a little nervous there, so I just went into full attack mode, and that got me through. This is.
I don't know if people noticed yet, but if you don't panic, either when one of the owls drops the firebomb or one of the ram men throw it, a well-timed punch will send it flying back at them, and you can kill them with their own firebomb. And then in the case of level 1, with the birdmen that throw the boomerang scimitars, when they throw it, if you roll, you'll go under it. You'll pass under it. And you can chain an uppercut right out of that roll. So you can wait for them to throw the blade at you in level 1, roll under it, and uppercut them. It's very rewarding, and it does a lot of damage.
That's how I was beating them. That's my favorite way to do it, especially when there's two of them. Because when there's two of them, it's really hard because they sandwich you, and they have two boomerangs going out. It's hard.
Well, another cool thing, when you time it well, when the boomerang is coming right at you, a well-timed punch, so the actual metal of the gauntlet, not just the flame, hits the blade, it will destroy the blade. You won't get hit by it. You won't have to worry about him throwing stuff at you anymore, and he becomes a short-range enemy that only has to rely on clawing at you. So when you're dealing with one from either side, just turn around, face the one closest to you, and wait for him to throw it and punch it at just the right moment. It'll shatter it. The other cool thing I added to this build is if you jump up and you land down on the boomerang blade when it's thrown at you, jump up and land down on it like Mario, that will also destroy the weapon, and then once again the enemy is much less powerful and he can't throw long range attacks.
That's
So,
the amount of
like I said,
sophistication is
nuance.
crazy. It's crazy. Those nuances really add up too. Oh yeah, you're hoping for a Street Fighter 2 in the near future. Astrodal Life. That would be very, very cool. Source today was the first game you finished, Oram. Nice, dude. Nice. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. Again, if any of you guys have questions, do add Amiga Bill. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wrap the stream up soon. Tomorrow is my 18th wedding anniversary, and we're gonna go out and celebrate tonight. So I need
Congrats.
to wrap. Thank you. I need to wrap things up on the sooner side, guys. Oh yeah, Skyzoo73 has a great point. He says these two games will mark a new benchmark for Amiga games for sure. Dude, Arnuj, thank you for the subscription. 6 months of Amiga Bill sub hype. All those amazing guests. Keep it up, my friend. Glad to be a member of this amazing community. You rock, Arnuj. Thank you, Amiga Freak. Thank you. Thanks, Amiga Live. Yeah, me and Wife Device are gonna party like it's 1998, the year we met. Bor YouTube Uzmaki, thank you so much for the follow. Thanks everyone who was tuning in today as well. It's been an absolute blast. Thank everyone who subscribed and followed. A huge thanks to all my patrons. I'm really just blown away by everyone that comes here every week and supports me. It's just amazing. Thornton, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed. And welcome to all the new viewers. Welcome to all the new viewers from Gamescom. It's been a wild weekend. I never did 3 streams in 24 hours before. So Corey, do you have any other thoughts about Daemon Claw that you want to share with us? It's really stunning.
The only other thing I'll say is that we have charted out this game and its story and everything and the world that it's going to belong to, and you'll see all of that in the near future. So
excellent. Thank you, Retro Gaming Denmark. Go
one
for
super
it.
fast thing. Someone in the chat earlier said, "Please make a Metroidvania game." That is planned, and in this very same world, like one of the sequels to this game that happens generations later, will be a full-on Metroidvania game. So stay tuned, and if you like the plot and the world that this game sets up, you will love the future game we'll eventually make.
I love that you guys have like an entire plan moving forward for future games, and that's amazing. That we have a lot to look forward to, especially if and when Daemon Claw and Metro Siege are uber successful. It's incredible. Thank you, Retro Gaming Denmark. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude, that would be amazing. Anything else, Corey?
Check out our channel if you want to watch us for 40 hours build this game.
Let me go find your channel real quick. Let me go find your channel.
There's plenty other content there too, though. We do have a series where we're building this game, but there are lots of other videos we create. There.
So the easiest way to get there is to go to bitbeamcanon.com with new exclamation mark bitbeam in the chat, and then we got a command there, and then all your social media is up here on the top. So we'll check out.
It looks like you typoed BitBeam, so it didn't.
It's
That's our sister studio.
Yeah.
right.
And I hit it. Casual games.
Of course, I messed up. I put a comma at the end of it. I'll try. 3 strikes and I'm out. Hold on. BitBeam. There we go.
That did it.
Nice. Here's the YouTube channel, guys. Yeah, I'm already subbed. Perfect. And wow, you guys go into a lot of detail about your game development here, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can literally watch us programming and assembling the entire Daemon Claw from scratch. Like, there's a series. We're up to like 39 or 40 now, Corey.
Yeah,
I think 39.
This is quite a few.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they're full length. You get to see us actually start a blank project and construct, start to drag in the graphics, and start to make all the logic that makes the entire game work. We have Let's Plays that we play with you now sometimes.
Yeah, those are so fun.
Yeah, we're going to do another one hopefully soon. We loved that, and we can't wait to do it again with you. And then there is, Corey is about to start art tutorials. Is there time? Like, that video is, what, 4 or 5 minutes, Corey?
Yeah, it's like 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, let's check that out. Let me...
Yeah, an intro for that, yeah.
Oh, this is
So
amazing.
Corey is
time lapse.
process video for
Okay, well, that's a time lapse of me drawing something. But so Corey is going to start doing full-on pixel art tutorials, as am I. We do pixel art reviews. So if you're working on a game for Amiga or otherwise, so long as it's pixel art, you can send it to us. And if we have the time and we think it'll make a great video for our channel, we will give you two pro pixel artists giving you thorough feedback on how we think you can improve it. And then there's Forensic Pixology, which is a series. We did one on the Amiga. Go check that out on Classic Amiga. Soon we're going to do the sequel to that video, part two, covering AGA Amiga. So we go into real depth. We did one on Super Mario 3. We analyze the game. We don't just talk about how pretty the art is or what style the artist was using. We talk about the technical constraints of the 8-bit Nintendo and how the artists worked around and with those constraints. So they're
Amazing.
very technical, in-depth conversations and analysis of classic games. Yeah, and we're going to start doing that with our own. Like I told Corey, after we did the splash screen of Daemon Claw and after he did the intro cinematic scenes, he always does an amazing job. But especially those are a treasure trove of important concepts for a pixel artist to learn, and I can't wait to do a forensic pixologist video interviewing Corey on his own
Oh man,
channel
that's amazing.
about those, because that will be a treasure trove of AAA information, of super
Oh.
advanced information for aspiring pixel
Mike, I'm
artists.
gonna play the video real quick, and I'm gonna hit the boys'
Yep,
room
I'll
while it's
shut up.
playing, and we'll check out Corey's video. I'll be right back, guys.
Hey, how's it going? This is Corey at BitBeam Canon. As I've mentioned previously, for a while I've had the intention of making a series of videos about creating true retro game art. Although Mike and I have had many pixel art related conversations here on the channel, this series will contain tutorials and informative videos that focus purely on what anyone would need to know in terms of creating the art itself. I'll be sharing many methods I've developed over the years for creating any manner of game art, including environments, characters, icons, animations, etc., and also getting into technical specs of various game systems along the way. But first, in this intro video, I'd like to share a bit of my experience and history as a game developer. Truth be known, when I was really young, I wanted to be a cartoonist. Traditional animation was something I was very attracted to, but it became clear to me in the mid-90s that a lot of that started to change. Simpler, less impressive art took over the world of cartoons gradually, and for films, well, all of those great animated classics were replaced with CGI 3D movies. So it was clear to me that the careers of classic animation were dwindling. As I became a teenager around that time and more serious about pursuing a career in art, I turned to another passion of mine: video games. At this time, games were booming in popularity and getting more and more artistic, expressive, fun, and beautiful. I'd always played games since I was very young, starting with a hand-me-down Atari 2600, which was a bit before my time. And yes, I had E.T., then the NES, and so on and so forth. So it felt right to me to go this direction. After practicing some on my own, I joined one of the earliest online communities for hobby game development around the turn of the millennium. We were all young, so every time we had a school break, we'd have short game competitions to see what we could create within a 1 or 2 week span. It was a lot of fun for all of us, and it was a great experience for game development. Fast forward to 2006, after some meandering years of college, in which at the time didn't really strongly support the concept of a degree in game art or development, I joined the mobile games industry for about 5 years, from the days of flip phones and getting into the early days of smartphones. So the work morphed from pure low-res pixel art to fairly high-res painted and even 3D art, which I do have experience in as well. During this time I met Mike, who worked at Glue Mobile at the same time as me, though we didn't get to work on any projects together at the time. After leaving Glue, I wanted to make a change, as I felt the office production art grind was taking its toll. So after some time, I pursued working independently as a freelance artist. Work came and went, but eventually Mike and I made contact again, and I helped create some of the art packs for Spriter. We eventually had the idea of BitBeam Canon, and here we are today creating our own games. That being said, although the idea for this series started as one of tutorials, my thoughts are that not every video would be that, and some would be more informative or teach fundamentals for creating graphics for 8-bit and 16-bit systems. I have some ideas for starting with some basics, but I'm curious as to hear everyone's thoughts on what they might like to see in this series. The goal of which is to teach what I've learned, but with the disclaimer of making adjustments along the way. Mike may also be involved in the series as well. So let me know what you think. The first video will cover 8-bit graphics, which is a great place for anyone to start, and will be available shortly. If you enjoy our content and want to keep up to date on our games, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you want to support our projects, consider becoming a patron. The link's in the description, and we'll see you soon.
Nice. Awesome, Corey. Great job, dude. It's nice to get a history about you. That last game you showed right before Daemon Claw looked really amazing, too. Spriter?
Spriter is a 2D animation tool that I, like my day job was co-founding that company, Brash Monkey, and I worked with the programmer to develop that animation tool. But Corey helped us create the official first-party art packs, which was environment packs and entire sets of animated characters and effects and stuff like that for that 2D game animation tool. And we're using the same kind of tool to make these games, but a more primitive pixel art version of the tool. Actually, the first ever prototype for it. But anyway,
that's awesome. Yo, Cosmic Vibes, thank you for the follow. Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thanks to Cosmic Vibes for the follow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon, guys, because I got the dinner reservations. But it's just been awesome having you guys on again, and the amount of work you accomplished throughout this past year is super exciting. It's amazing, and man, Amiga community is just super lucky to have you and to have Alpine 9000 and John T, and oh wow, we're lucky to have so much talent in the community where you guys are making like really incredible stuff. Any last thoughts you guys want to leave the stream with?
Not a lot of them, but I will say thanks to the rest of the awesome Amiga community. Thanks very much to you, and a happy anniversary. Also, apologize to your wife for me talking so much. and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Do you have any thoughts, Corey?
Just check us out if you'd like, and there's more to come. So.
Awesome guys. That's super cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I'm gonna hang up with the BitBeam Canon guys, and then I'm just gonna say goodbye to everyone on my stream, and we'll call it a day. That was amazing. Mike and Corey, thank you so much for coming on the stream and giving me your time and sharing your work with all my viewers. It's really appreciated, and it's extremely exciting. I had a blast playing both demos, and I'm super excited about what you guys are gonna come up with next. Cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully I'll see you soon. Again, if you want to follow BitBeam Canon, do !BitBeam in the chat, and it'll send you to bitbeamcanon.com. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Amazing videos coming up, and you can get all the rest of our social media there. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Peace.
Thanks.
Well, that was awesome, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the stream today with the BitBeam Canon guys. It was amazing. We've got so much cool stuff to look forward to. Like I said, next Sunday, we're going to have the A1200.net guys on. Marcel and Phil are going to come on the stream to answer your questions about why you don't have their stuff or anything or anything else you want to ask them. They want to answer the hard questions. They want to give you an update as to what's going on. I don't think it'll be the whole stream unless you guys really have a lot of questions for them and you want it to be the whole stream. In that case, it's fine. But I want to have them on for an hour and they'll answer their questions, and we'll find out what's going on with all the Amiga developments. Yeah, Sep, thank you. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. You're welcome. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. We're gonna do a raid. You know what? This guy's been trying really hard. C64 Television. I know he's a really nice guy, and he's definitely follows me as well, and I know he's been streaming a lot lately. and we'll give C64 Television a rate. I haven't seen many of his streams, but give him a big, warm Amiga Bill welcome. I hope everyone has a great night, a great week. Captain John, you are very welcome, sir. If you guys want to follow me during the week, you can follow me on Twitter at The Guru Meditate. Of course, here on Twitch, twitch.tv/AmigaBill, youtube.com/The Guru Meditation, and facebook.com/The Guru Meditation. Yeah, check The Guru Meditation. I'm going to be launching a very rare J Minor video very soon. It is his speech from AMI Expo 1990 that I went to. It's going to be a great video. One of the best streams ever. Thank you, Pred Zeta. That's super, super kind. I'll be sure. Thank you so much. Thanks, D for Zell. It's going to be a great night. Captain John, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for all the support, my man. I love having the picture of you guys here. Thank you, Sep. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we're gonna take it to the hot tub, and we're gonna raid C64 Television. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. Have a great week, and Amiga forever. Peace.